Yo, welcome to another episode of the panel. Shout out to all the guys up here. I got my man Slim Dookie up here. I got Chilltown Hoops. I got Mars the Scumbag up here. And I also got an honored guest with me, man. Tell the people who you are and where you from.
My name is Spencer Basketball, and I am from Toronto, Ontario, originally from New York. And I'm here to talk basketball. We're talking guards in the NBA.
Yeah, no doubt.
The Italian.
I'm technically Serbian and Italian, but yes. Yeah.
We like Serbians.
You like Serbians? I'm glad.
I'm a Mavs fan.
You like Nikola Jokic?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I guess Slovenian. Anything, I guess, like Eastern European.
Let's be controversial to start. Luka Doncic is half Serbian. His dad is Serbian.
It's true. That's true. I called him a Serb in a
For
video,
real?
and people got mad at me, and then there were people like, actually, he's half Serbian. So.
He is.
That's why he didn't. That's one of the main reasons why he didn't end up in with the Sacramento Kings, because him and his father and Vlade Divac didn't get along.
Ooh.
That's a fireable offense.
I didn't know that.
Clear.
Good
That's
riddance.
Fortunately,
that's a fireable offense.
He's
So
already
Marvin
fired.
Bagley, though.
Marvin
That was,
Bagley's great.
that was a good pick at the time. That was a good pick at the time, Slim.
Yeah,
Slim,
Darko Milicic looked good at the time.
No, that was different.
You don't pass on somebody because your father
was
and you don't really get along.
Yeah.
We can figure that out.
Come on, man. You always got to go for the big man at the top of the draft. We know it's an undefeated track record. DeAndre Ayton, win. Marvin Bagley, win. Greg Oden, win. Bro, I made a video 16 years ago on the day, I think 16 years ago, called Kevin Durant, the number 23. And it was about how the Portland Trailblazers made the same mistake 23 years later.
Okay,
wow.
first of all, that is so
Prophetic.
out of context. No, it's not prophetic. It's so out of context. That's number one. That is so out of context. Number one, we did not know that Greg Oden was made of glass. That's number one.
I did. One of his legs was longer than the other.
Okay.
And he's 7 feet tall.
Number two, when we saw Greg Oden play in the tournament, I'm 100% confident. What did you see? Because I saw Patrick Ewing 2.0. That's what I saw.
I don't care if he became Patrick Ewing 2.0. KD's still better than Patrick Ewing.
Well, here's the difference. Even if that's true,
respect.
We ain't know that KD was going to be that good. We didn't. And on top of that, we're talking about a time when the big man was still prevalent. And you giving us 3 examples.
He's 7 feet tall. How is he not a big man? You remember that? Kevin Durant's 6'11".
Okay, I think he like 6'10".
Arguable.
I mean, he had. Okay,
He was at 6'9".
All I remember at the time was KD can't bench 185 pounds once, and I'm like, how much does a basketball weigh?
They lost it over that. Yeah. They lost it over that.
I didn't care about that.
They don't understand physics. You know how long his arms are?
Yeah,
I didn't care about
that. They didn't care about the fact that Greg Oden's leg.
I didn't care about that.
It's definitely hard to bench press when you got super long arms.
Bro, it's like
but Will Chamberlain could bench 500 pounds.
Sports science is undefeated. If you walk crooked, you will be injury prone. If you're a big human being who walks funny, you will be messed up.
And in time, you will be. Yeah, in time you will be.
I mean, you just are.
I mean, you've seen Zion walk, right? And you see Michael Jordan and Kobe walk.
Right.
Now, they're all 6'6", but they don't walk the same. I look for fluidity. When I see an athlete move, I see fluid, unhitchy motions. If you're fluid, I'm gonna trust that you move around the basketball. Like movement patterns are
Wemby's the pinnacle of a big man with fluidity.
But this is the thing. Everyone's like, oh, he's 7'5", so he's going to be injury prone. I'm like, bro, have you seen him move? He doesn't move like a 7'5" guy. So he's not going to have the same issues, in my opinion.
Well, I'm hoping that that's true. I really am, because I think he's the future of basketball. That part I won't argue, definitely.
Do you know Greg Oden injury-free?
Greg Oden was the best player in the country. Like? Wait a minute, Ron. Hold on, Ron. Rewind. We can't talk about Sam Bowie like we talk about Greg Oden. Sam Bowie had a broken leg that they knew about, and they still drafted him. That wasn't the case with Greg Oden, and he was the best player in the country.
KD was better.
Yeah, like where was it broke? Like his tibia? Like,
yes, and they knew about it.
Didn't Greg Oden play in college with a broken hand?
With a broken what?
He did. Yeah, it was
his hand not broken?
Yeah,
and he ended up just like shooting left-handed basically for damn near the whole season.
Which by the way, Mars, people thought he was left-handed. That's how good he was.
But that means he was injured.
Yeah, Mars, but it's a broken
Are
hand.
we equating
But Bones heal. Bones heal. Like if a broken
he
bone ain't the same.
he has a broken hand and he has one leg that's shorter than the other. But KD can't bench press, so he's the bigger risk.
I don't know, man. It's like the
Mark,
love of basketball thing.
Choosing Greg Oden at that time was not necessary. It wasn't a bad pick. I'm not mad at the Greg Oden pick. I can't say for certain. Don't get me wrong. KD was causing hell at Texas, but what Greg Oden was doing at Ohio was crazy. It was crazy. Greg Oden was, if you ask me, in hindsight, of course, it was the wrong pick. But at the time, I wasn't mad at Portland at all. My thing with the broken bones, it's not a big deal to me. Broken bones heal. That's not a big deal. Now, torn ligaments, things like that, you're tearing up your ACLs, your knee, stuff like that. Right. That's one thing. I'm not drafting people like that. But a broken bone, that's not a big deal.
Okay, so one guy with a leg shorter than the other, is that not a valid concern?
Well, I didn't know that until my man right here just said that.
Right.
I didn't know that was even a thing.
We didn't know, and it didn't seem like it affected his game at all.
Chill, you know about that? Because that's news to me today.
2007, Greg Oden was the best player in the country.
I'm not arguing against
he wasn't a good player.
Played. I'm just saying, is that not a concern?
I'm sure it is.
When I listen to Kevin Durant talk about
crazy.
basketball, when I listen to him talk about his goals on basketball, to me, it sounded like this guy was not going to stop until he was going to be great. Like when he said, "I'm not trying to be another player in the NBA. I'm not just trying to be another." I mean, it also comes down to where you come from. He comes from the DMV, Baltimore, Maryland. That to me, it's significant. Like if you've been to Baltimore and you've seen the Hill. Like I got my boy and he's friends with KD, and he was just like, bro, like some of the stories you heard about this guy, and it's like you're not telling me that Portland did not hear the same stories that I heard back then about how hard this guy worked. So it's just like, to me, if you're dominating in college basketball the way KD was, can't bench 185, but he can drop 30 points per game. That to me is like shit. If this guy ever fills out, that the potential, in my opinion, was just. I can't believe KD didn't go number one. That's just
remember
me.
Remember the time that we're at, though. Remember the time we're at.
I get it, but Dirk existed. You know what I mean? Like there was precedent.
But that's the thing, is it was one Dirk at that moment in time. And here's also the thing. Let me take it a step forward. It was no KDs at that moment in time. What guy that was 6'9" and bigger could dribble, shoot from the three, do all of that? It was no KDs, and if they were, they did have some girth. They were.
Tracy McGrady's not 6'10".
Tracy McGrady,
it was different.
He said 6'9".
He's 6'8". I mean, splitting hairs.
KD when he came in was like 6'9", 6'10". He grew in the league.
It was a little different though, Mars. It was
it was different. KD wasn't nothing like Tracy.
You just asked for a 6'9" guy that could shoot and handle. I'm just saying T-Mac could do those things. That's what
I get that though, Mars. But even when you look at KD and we just talked about this with Wemby. When you look at KD and look at T-Mac, if you were just to watch him move and everything like that, T-Mac's so much more fluid than KD. KD still was kind of herky jerky. He looked kind of awkward. He was, and once again, he was rail thin. It was concerns about KD too.
And on top of that,
keep going.
I'm sorry.
Mars, I didn't know he had a short leg.
So this
I did not know that.
I wasn't talking basketball in 07 for obvious reasons. I wasn't born, but I knew about this.
Born in 07?
I'm a young guy.
Slim, please.
How old are you?
Doesn't matter. I'm up here.
07?
07 means 17 years old. Like it's not back in the day where 07 meant you were 10. But I can't say we. I've known about the Greg Oden short leg thing for many years. It was reported when he got drafted, he had a short leg. That's not new information that's just come out. You can find articles from 2007 of Greg Oden himself talking about it. He had a limp. It was from a surgery he had in 6th grade, I think. Something like
literally,
that.
OregonLive.com. It's not a limp. That's just Oden being Oden. Quote: the reason is because Oden's right leg is slightly shorter than his left leg. It's confirmed.
Like a deformity type short. It wasn't short like go to
he
the chiropractor
he had a surgery.
His walk was significantly different.
He had a surgery, and I think a pin was put in his hip and now he had a limp. And then the Blazers put a orthopedic thing in his shoe to like balance out his whatever. So I'm sorry, that's a major concern. I don't know what to tell you.
Which probably caused the knee injury. But at the time, again, we're talking about Greg Oden, who was the best player in the country. That's number one. Number two, we still have a big man league. Dwight Howard had just showed up 3 years before that. Shaq is still in the league. He's on his way out. Greg Oden's going to be that transition, both him and Dwight Howard, transitioning the league from those guys and the big man in Shaq to now these guys. Now, we did not know that Steph Curry was going to show up. We did not know that Klay Thompson was going to show up. And that was actually the future of the league, because the Phoenix Suns, what they were doing, it wasn't winning, even though that was the future of the league. So the idea that Greg Oden not picking him at that time, it wasn't like this injury, his leg being shorter was that big of a deal, because it didn't look like it affected his game at all.
It should have been a big deal.
I know
hindsight's a hell of a thing. I know
100%. 100% it should have been.
Stayed healthy, it would have never been.
It didn't look like it was a big deal, because if you watched him in the national championship game, he was clearly the best player on the floor and the best player in the country.
That's just not something I can ignore.
I think like if you look at college basketball today, I mean, there's real concerns that in one of the weakest drafts in history, Zach Edey is not going to go in the first round, and he shouldn't.
Which is nuts to me.
It's not though.
He can't play. Shout out to him, man.
Let me draw out a picture for you. Derek Lively and Luka Doncic in a pick and roll with Zach Edey on the other end of that. That's 2 points every time. Every single time.
It's because there's too much space.
You can scheme him off the court. You can run him off the court. You just go small.
I just want to make sure I'm hearing you guys correctly. Are we putting Derek Lively, who got a whole year to play with arguably the best player in the league, against a rookie, and we're surprised that he's getting fried? So is he going to see Luka?
We're saying
what I'm asking is, so he's going to see Luka Doncic every night. Is that what I'm understanding?
You're underestimating.
I'm saying he can't defend a pick and roll with the NBA
with that much space.
I gave you an extreme example.
Zach Edey would be a good backup center.
Okay, can he guard Shea and Chat? Could he guard could he guard Scotty Barnes and Jakob Poeltl pick and roll? I don't think he could.
Well, this is the thing. Zach Edey isn't completely immobile. On top of that, I'm not saying you can switch off and switch onto a SGA Luka type guy for a long extended amount of time, but he can hedge and go. Zach Edey isn't just standing straight up and down. Zach Edey can move a little bit.
He's not permanent monster.
But my thing is that Zach Edey. If you're talking about Zach Edey as if you're talking about Zach Edey as a guy to come and start and play 25 plus minutes, then no, we're not looking at that. But I think Zach Edey is a good backup center. Some games, Zach, you're not going to play. Some games you're not going to play, Zach. You know what I'm saying? But I'm still fine with drafting Zach Edey late first.
I mean, I just think that if he like Penn said, if he looks slow on a college court, like, I mean, he looks serviceable out there defending on a college court. But think about the space.
That's really
the space in the NBA. It's almost a different game. And defensive 3 seconds. He's got to be moving. He can't just sit it. He can't camp out in the lane like he does in college. He's always got to be moving. You can't.
He's got to guard the long ball line. Yes,
that's what I'm saying.
There's some teams he won't play. There's some games he won't play.
No, but like that is the NBA game. I don't think it's a matchup.
If there's some games he won't play, he's a third stringer. He's a specialty big.
And then
he's Taco Fall basically.
You don't last that long in the league like that.
He's better than Taco Fall. I'll give you that. And his free throw shooting.
Player. He's just not made for the NBA, and that's just the way.
Well, that's exactly it. If you check out Boban Marjanovic's per 36 numbers, he's like a superstar. Can't play.
But Zach's far better than him too.
Far better.
I don't know about that.
Respect Boban, first of all.
You think Zach Edey's far better than
good, bro?
Respect Boban, all that, but Zach Edey's way better than him.
Right now?
No, he's not.
Today.
If you put Boban and Zach Edey in a gym right now, he would beat him 101-2.
Am I getting punked right now? Like, what's going on?
You think if we put Boban Marjanovic in college basketball right now as a grown ass man, you don't think that he would score like 80 points a game?
40, bro. He's giving him 40.
He could probably score 35 points. He could probably score 35.
No way you don't believe that, Big Ox. There's no way you don't believe that.
There's no way that y'all don't believe Zach Edey's better than him. That's what y'all.
No,
there's no chance in hell. That's not even close.
All right, we're not. We're stuck here. Let's move on. We're stuck here.
Yeah,
I got NBA better. You know
we do got to move on too. Yo, my man Penn. Apparently, I didn't introduce you. Apparently, I'm an L host.
I'm like, what's up?
I'm gonna give you.
I don't even know.
This Ron came late. Chill. You was right here when I introduced him. I put him on the big screen. Ox came late, and just like the rest of the people in the chat. But let me go ahead and do it again. Tell the people who you are and where you're from.
I already did. I'm Pensar basketball. I'm from Toronto, Ontario, but originally from New York.
Which he told us.
Which I did tell you. Now I'm repeating it.
And he's Serbian. He told us that.
And then we spoke about Luka being Serbian. Yeah. And then we spoke about
I'm a prophet when it comes to the draft. And I already told you that with the KD thing, right? That's exactly it. Derailed the conversation on the first show. That's bad. That's bad banners. My bad.
So welcome to our house.
Hey, Pen, that is the show. Yeah. You said something like we're splitting hairs at this point. This show, especially old dude and hoodie British guy, they love splitting hairs. Talk about the dude.
No, that's disrespectful. Just calling him old dude, bro. I'm probably not that much. I'm probably not that much younger than him.
Oh, read the chat. Read the chat, bro. You'll hear much more disrespect coming for that man. I respect that dude. These people don't respect him like they should at least.
Oh yeah, and shout out to L Goofies in the chat too. It's been a while since I gave y'all a shout out. Shout out to the L Goofies. Hey, my man Penn. Can I get your top 5 Serbian players of all time?
Top 5 Serbian
players. Current Serbian players. Let's go with players that people can definitely.
How many Serbian players?
I don't know if we got 5 in the league.
Overseas too.
Yeah, are you just trying to get me to list Boban Marjanovic on this list?
Yeah,
because he's gonna make this list if you're saying top 5.
Probably.
I mean, it's gonna be Jokic for sure. I'm gonna put half of Luka up there because half of him is better than a full of anybody else. You got to put Bogdanovic up there for the Atlanta Hawks, right? You got to put Bogdanovic, and shoot, I'm drawing a blank on the 5th. I'm like for 5th, I might even like have to like go overseas or something like and just give a shout out to one of my friends.
Is Bogey from the Knicks? Is he Serbian too?
No,
no, he's not.
Micic, Vasily.
You guys get it.
Vasily.
You can give him that one. Yeah, I mean it's there's a lot of talent. Unfortunately, a lot of great Serbian players never made it over to the league because they don't want to come over, right? Like I mean, it's a lot of controversy over how European basketball players play over there, how comfortable it is, how much money they make, etc. But yeah, I mean, it's moving towards it. Especially you see teams like the Utah Jazz, the Boston Celtics, the Toronto Raptors. Now they have a European head coach. They're moving, you know. I'm seeing more European players feeling like I can go over to the league and I won't be misused, if you know what I mean. Because it's happened to a lot of guys, right? And your brand never recovers. You're a star over, exactly, right? Like you're a star over there and you're dropping 25 and the whole world loves you and the whole country loves you. And then you come over to the United States, you're like, you're 12th guy. Yeah. It's politics. That's the politics of the NBA though, for real. Because I think some of those guys could hang.
And shout out Vasily Micic. I've been showing him love all season. He's actually really starting the ball right now.
Apparently, I didn't show him any love because I just left him off the list. I was about to go right to Europe. My bad, Vasily. My bad.
The EuroLeague MVP right there. Good to see him balling though. But all right, fellas.
Real quick, Ron. Where's Nimnia from?
I think
Bielitsa is Serbian, isn't he?
I'm pretty sure he is.
I'm
positive he's Serbian.
Yep. Left him off the list too.
Also, shout out Nikola Milutinov too, EuroLeague legend. All right, this is a good time for me to tell everybody to like the video. Shout out to all of our subscribers. Shout out all of our new members. Hit playerschoicemerch.com. If you haven't this week, go check it out. We are on playback again today. Let me go ahead and pull up who's going to be on playback today. We got the Bucks versus the Celtics. And y'all could just take a random, wild, huge guess as to who's going to be on there today. The Bucks and the Celtics. Hey, Chill, you got time today?
I do. Yes, you know I do. You know I do.
Yeah, this is my type of day, man. Hey, shout out to everybody. I hope everybody's having a good morning so far. Hopefully this show can make your day even better, especially with this segment that we finna get into right now. no further ado. We don't got no more time to waste. We about to get into this bracket, this tier list. Y'all know how we do. In the past, we've had troubles distinguishing what the tier should be and all that good stuff. So as of right now, I just made it stars. We got a 5-star tier. We got a 3-star tier. We got a 4-star tier. We got a 1-star tier. And we got a 2-star tier. All right? That's how we doing it. We ranking all the guards in the league. Well,
all of them?
The significant ones. The significant ones.
Is Johnny Davis on here?
Johnny Davis is not on here. Should I
Zero
ask?
star.
We need a 0
negative
star
stars.
He's taking Killian Hayes' spot. He's the worst player in the league.
He's that bad?
Oh my!
He's worse.
He's worse than Killian Hayes.
Yeah.
Way worse.
Killian Hayes would at least play
to the point where I see him starting for the Washington Wizards. I would literally bet my house on the other team.
Hey, who are you a fan of?
Toronto.
Raptors.
Okay.
Raptors, Nuggets. I'm big on the Mavs, and basically do not like any team that Dennis Schroeder plays for. So yeah, that's
hey, me and him against the Nets. I like it. Nice.
I don't like Dennis Schroeder, bro.
Well, okay, I don't want to derail us again, but
derail us.
I'm so curious.
Why?
Yeah,
because I just watched him play for half a season. That's why. I've watched, bro. Dennis Schroeder is getting dangerously close to Patrick Beverley territory, where you know how like some players they like cross out all the games against their ex teams.
Yeah,
dude's about to cross out the whole calendar.
He's a journeyman.
For real.
I don't know.
But it's never his fault, though. Don't worry, it's never his fault.
I've never seen
MVP.
I didn't know Dennis Schroeder had ops. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Respect Dennis Schroeder, man.
We learn something new every day, y'all. But here we go. Chat, give us an order. Drop an order. First order up here, we will go with, other than James B. Somebody please beat James B to the punch. Anybody.
Are we going to not talk about that Denver-Minnesota game last night? Or are we going to talk about that later?
No, we can talk about it right now.
Yeah, because, I mean, I thought I saw a damn good game last night between Denver and Minnesota. And I think Minnesota could really challenge Denver if they was healthy. They just didn't have enough at the end, to be quite honest with you. They did not have enough at the end and could just get his shot off on anybody. MPJ is one of those firecracker dudes where, like, if he get going, he make Denver so much better. But if he's not, he's also one of those guys who really doesn't do a lot else except shoot the ball. I mean, he'll get on the glass, but he doesn't defend. And not only does he not defend, y'all dudes was talking about Zach Edey putting him in pick and rolls, putting MPJ in pick and rolls.
They hunt him.
Oh, my goodness. He's definitely a liability on defense with them. He kind of makes up for it because he will rebound from time to time. But his main thing is him shooting the long ball because he doesn't do anything else. And he does not see a shot that he doesn't like. If it touches his hands, unless you throw two guys at him, it's going up. But Anthony Edwards,
hit it.
They don't call him Michael Tim Hardaway Jr. Porter for nothing.
I don't know, man, because this dude, he's definitely
cracking
the long ball. Yeah, he's definitely cracking the long ball. And I mean, that game was for that game. I think that game was for outright second place in the Western Conference last night. If this Minnesota team, if they could get healthy enough, I think they could challenge Denver for the Western Conference championship. I do.
Chill. They took him down to the wire, and I was watching the game on playback with Bama. Ox had jumped in there for a little bit too, but they took them down to the wire with no Gobert. Obviously, Cat's hurt, and no Naz Reid. I don't know if you guys know this, but Kyle Anderson started at center. Yep. He started at center. He got 3 fouls in the first 3 minutes and had to go to the bench. In comes Luka Garza to play hero ball.
That's 25 a game in the 90s right there.
That's a fact.
And here's the thing, and I'm glad you brought that up, Mars.
Tell you guys about Luka Garza.
And here's the difference, Mars, and I'm glad you brought that up. I'm watching action last night. You talk about the 90s. Why isn't the game? Why don't guys get hit going to the big guy gets hit going to the basket more? Because I'm watching Luka Garza get a soft switch from Jamal Murray. Mike Conley got him wide open going to the basket, and it's a soft switch where Jamal Murray knows he's not going to throw him the ball. Then he gets actually switched on him, and he buries Jamal Murray right underneath the basket. They're not even looking for him. And I see that going on a lot with Rudy. When Rudy dives to the basket, where they got soft switches on him, when he's big in the paint and he's asking for the ball, they don't give it to him. Why isn't that going on more. And I can appreciate the logic that, well, this guy's hands aren't very good. Whenever I got a big on a small and he's at the basket, this is basketball. Give him the ball.
Luka Garza has good hands. That doesn't.
I can't appreciate that logic. Good, you don't got good hands. If your big man is rolling to the basket, you dump it down. The problem is, Chilltown, they're not playing basketball with any real intention anymore. The only intention they're having is to find the first contested three we can shoot. We're not playing basketball where we're shooting the first best shot we find. Like if the first best shot we find is going to happen to be a dump down to the big man rolling, we're not going for that because that's just not good basketball. It's not good for analytics. You know what I mean? So
a layup is always good for analytics, but I digress.
Apparently not, Mars.
No, it is
not Mars.
No, but
some
teams are bad at recognizing mismatches. That doesn't mean it's because of analytics. That's just bad. That's bad IQ. That's what it is. That's bad IQ. Anyone who understands analytics. Anyone who understands analytics will tell you layups are the best shot in basketball.
Yes, they are because they're closer to the basket.
It's open layups.
Yeah, it's not about analytics. It's about not recognizing mismatches. That's what it is, and that's an IQ thing. That's what it is. It's an IQ.
Now, Mars, before you go any further, now where do you think that comes from? Does that not come from the analytics? The analytics tell you that the long ball is better because you get more points if you shoot the long ball more. So now that's basically been embedded in people. That's basically been embedded in these guys that if you keep shooting the long ball, this is what everybody else is doing, and the big man is now being phased out of the game. Prime example would be Luka Garza because I'm watching Luka Garza run to the rim in transition with soft switches on him, with smaller guys on him last night, constantly and asking for the basketball and them not getting it to him. Constantly seeing
analytics is the source of this style of basketball.
That's not because analytics will tell you a layup, which at most, especially if you have a big with a small on him, is more than a 60% shot, which would mean you'd have to shoot above 40% from three to equate the same value. So analytics would not tell you to pass up a Luka Garza layup for a three. They would not tell you that because that would be stupid. Analytics is about getting the best possible shot, and a Luka Garza layup or dunk will be a better shot than an open three for anyone on the Timberwolves roster.
So what I'm saying,
it's not analytics, it's bad IQ. That's what it is.
Source of this,
where the IQ comes from?
That's the question. From analytics.
It's about recognizing mismatches, and a lot of teams aren't good at it. A team that is good at it is a team like Golden State. Golden State always have a good way of recognizing mismatches when they had actual viable options down there. That's why they always look for a layup before a three. They use their gravity on the outside to create open layups because they understand layups are more valuable. That's understanding mismatches. Miami understand mismatches. Denver understand mismatches. We saw with Aaron Gordon on Gabe Vincent. They understand mismatches, but a lot of these teams don't understand mismatches. It's an IQ problem. It's not analytics. It's the lack of IQ and recognizing mismatches. Houston are getting better at it when we see like Jabari Smith has a mismatch. We'll get the ball to him. Alperen Sengun has a mismatch. We're getting the ball to him. You know why? Because we understand and we recognize mismatches. It's about coaching and players having high IQ. It's not analytics telling them to not give them the ball. That's once again what I'm saying is analytics is the cause of this. People the start of this analytics
from a roundabout way.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
Analytics has never told you to not take
what I'm saying is this. I'm not saying this telling you not to take.
Let me understand.
Thank you for at least trying to listen to what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that analytics is the start of this. The reason that the IQ level has dropped is because we're no longer looking to play good basketball. We're looking to play the numbers, and now it's evolved to this where people are they're just playing bad basketball, even bad analytics. Analytics is the cause for low IQ basketball. That's what I'm saying.
So what you're saying is the analytics have basically taken the thinking,
the IQ out of basketball.
Yes. The players don't have to think for themselves; they just follow the analytical game plan. So now, when there's stuff that happens within the game, the analytics
now the IQ is
because it's embedded in me.
They can't recognize things for themselves, basically.
Even though
playing basketball,
even though this big guy who's wide open or he's got a small guy on him, and theoretically give him the basketball, that should be the play. In fact, I'm gonna throw him the ball, but I might have to come off the floor because Grant Williams or an okay 3-point shooter is open and I didn't hit him. And because I didn't hit him, now I got to come off the floor. And now I'm worried about coming off the floor in the future instead of hitting the big guy who's wide open at the basket, because they've told us constantly that threes are more valuable than twos. Your plus minus is going to go down if you don't do this. And hitting the big guy going to the basket isn't more valuable.
I don't think it's that. I think it's the fact that paint touches have become so valuable in the league with the space. And like you said, a layup is such a high percentage shot that you have to collapse on that. And when you collapse on that, you give up a lot of open looks from three, where in other leagues where there's less space, like FIBA, college basketball, high school basketball, there's less space to close out. So you have a lot of driving closeouts, and the ball gets skipped around a lot, and you still find a way to get layups. But in the NBA, when you collapse on the paint, you have to close more distance. So those kickouts, those closeouts are much longer, and it's just open looks as opposed to in college basketball, FIBA, high school basketball. They're usually a little more contested, and it's easier to close out, easier to scramble.
What's a better shot to you, Slim? A contested layup or a three where it's open? Somebody's closing out on you, so it's technically open.
Like an NBA open three,
NBA,
where it's like,
are you shooting a three where it's a
late
closeout? It's a guy bearing down on you, but you got time. You can get the shot off comfortably. Are you taking that shot, or are you taking a contested layup?
I mean, define. I guess it
Who's
depends what we're talking about by a contested layup. Are we talking about?
Are
we talking about like?
If it's Jalen Brunson, give me the layup.
Let me
wait a minute, Mars. Well, wait a minute, Mars. We just got finished talking about this. Why am I going to the big man who's rolling to the basket? Because
in that situation, the layup. In that situation,
think about it.
If I got Rudy Gobert coming over,
it's not even about personnel as much as it is like, okay, or is it a big with 2 feet in the paint that still has his dribble and just caught the ball super deep and has a guy between him and the hoop? Because like that's easy money for a lot of players.
Can I give you two scenarios, Slim?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so let me let's go a guard attacking the rim, and even to this a switch. Let's say we got a switch where you got the step on the big man, he's recovering. But it's a contested layup, but you're pretty comfortable. He's not going to block it. You got that layup, and you also got one where you dump down to the big man. The big man caught the ball on the block, and all he has to do is just make a move. Whatever the move is, face up, any move, whatever move. All he has to do, so it's going to be a contested shot. He's one-on-one on the big. Yeah, he's one-on-one on the block. Yeah. So those two scenarios, what's a better shot? Is it the layup or the kick out to the semi-contested three, the late closeout three?
I think, well, and I said it doesn't matter about personnel. I think at that point, personnel and also like obviously it's going to be a read at the end of the day. Like if you drop off to the big and the backside guard makes a great play covering down, and now you got 2 guys on you, then yeah, you kick. But I guess if it's just like that basic scenario, I'm probably taking the layup. But at the end of the day, there's still plays to be made out of that. And I think analytics has essentially blown the value of the 3-pointer just kind of out of proportion. But at the end, it's also a risk reward play. And I think teams understand that. And you got a lot of teams that are willing to live by it and die by it as well. So I think both like are viable options. I don't think the league is only slanted toward one way, but because of the space is what I'm saying is it's more so than any other league in the world. Are you going to see a lot of 3-pointers taken just because it's hard to cover that much space?
I think that's exactly it, right? We're talking about layups and middies and 3-pointers, but we're not really talking about the right thing, which is space, which is really what this is about, right? You're talking about a big in the post, dumping it down to him for an ISO post up, whatever. Like this is, 1998 and it's Karl Malone or Hakeem Olajuwon. But the threat of the 3-pointer creates such a distance for the help defender to come back and such a threat for the recovery that if you collapse on that big, like, when they collapse on Jokic in the low post or they collapse on any big, any big that has gravity, like what they're doing with Derek Lively diving to the basket or what Atlanta Hawks do with Trae Young. But the isolated variable here is how quick is the guard initiating the pick and roll in terms of making the reads? How does he deal with different coverages? What's his sight line, right? Like a guy like Luka or a guy like Scotty Barnes, they're going to see over the defense, or even a guy like Ben Simmons, although he's not really, something to write home about right now. But in theory, a 6'10" ball handler like him can see right over the defense, and that creates all sorts of different angles for the dump offs and the alley oops and stuff. So what I'm saying is you can't play in the NBA today if you don't have 3-point shooting. You just can't.
Right. And that part I get. That part I don't have a problem with.
Right.
I'm thinking about how this whole thing gets set up. What I mean when I say how this whole thing gets set up. So, for example, we're talking about Luka Garza. Luka Garza in transition. When Luka Garza is running in transition and he's running to the rim and he's got a small guy on him, the fact that you don't hit him, you don't shrink the defense. And when you don't shrink the defense, you make it less difficult to guard the long ball line. But when you're hitting a guy like Luka Garza in transition, now you guys have to get back on defense. Now you are shrinking the defense, which means the mid-range is more open. That means that the long ball is open. And then the same logic happens in the half court because you guys are spread out. So when Luka Garza does have a small guy on him, and he's slipping the screen, and he's got Jamal Murray who's got a soft switch on him, and he's diving to the basket. If he gets that layup, if that continues to happen, the defense is going to get shrunken. Defense gets shrunken, the mid-range is open. With the mid-range being open, the long ball is being open. The idea is to get the big man involved, particularly in transition, to shrink the defense, because to your point, if you can't shoot the long ball, you can't play in today's game. Well, if I can get the big man dive into the basket, I can shrink the defense and get more long ball open.
It's got to be a trust thing. I think it's got to be I agree with you. They should have done that, but do you trust Luka Garza to be able to catch in that situation and finish at a high percentage? And also, when it does collapse, do you trust Luka Garza to be able to be a playmaker out of that at the NBA?
And this is exactly the point. I do. See, well, here's the thing. You make that pass to Domas 100%.
Yeah.
You make that pass to Jokic 100%. You could even make that pass to a Jakob Poeltl 100%, because those guys have decent track records as playmakers. And of course, the efficiency of any shot is going to come down to how accurate the pass is and how timely the pass is, right? We're talking fractions of a second. If you've ever sat courtside, you know everything in basketball at the NBA level is fractions of a second, from blocks to timing on everything. So if you pass the ball to Luka Garza and they somehow recover, that next pass out is going to be initiating your offense. And then that pass is probably going to lead to a swing. It's going to lead to a swing. But everything starts with that first pass. And I don't know if I've seen enough from Luka Garza in college and in the NBA so far. Granted, I haven't watched a lot of him in NBA, but I have watched a lot of him in college. And I'm looking at his analytics right now. He's not a good passer, per what I've seen. But that's also his role. It's never like he's been a post hub and they've been like, hey, play make. But that is exactly it. Kyle Anderson, you make the pass. Luka Garza, maybe you don't make the pass. I'm just saying, like, it's not as simple as dump it down to the guy and then, he gets a layup. If he's wide open, yeah, give him the ball. But if he's contested and there's a chance the defense could recover by the time he puts the basketball down, and I mean, like, Jamal Murray is nobody's idea of a great defender by any means. But Luka Garza is not exactly a great offensive player, right?
All right, y'all. We got to keep it pushing. It's time to go ahead and get into this tier. Before I do that, Nick Tri-State sent through a super chat and said, the all-time 5 from Yugoslavia might just beat the all-time 5 from Europe. Luka, Petro, Jokic, Vlade, and Toni Kukoc. Spooky.
Is Yugoslavia not in Europe?
100%.
Yugoslavia doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah, but was it not?
It was. Yep.
He's saying the all-time team from Europe in general versus that squad.
So Yugoslavia.
The players from the all-time.
I say this as someone who's born. I was born in Yugoslavia, so I was born in Yugoslavia. So I'm 87 born. So when I was born, Yugoslavia still existed. I vehemently disagree with this. I disagree with this. I'm just keeping it real, 100%.
Yeah, no.
The very idea that you could put Arvydas Sabonis on the non-Europe team. Now, if you're saying, okay, the Europe team minus the Yugoslavian countries, you may have a point, but still
if you got clones.
Yeah, exactly. But I get where he's coming from. If the Europe team could not have any ex-Yugoslavian player, then maybe the Europe team might be in trouble. But the Europe team still got Tony Parker. The Europe team still got Dirk Nowitzki. The Europe team still got Arvydas Sabonis, Domantas Sabonis, bro. Chill on that one.
Yeah, yes.
Gasol brothers, holy shit.
Do they get the Antetokounmpos?
If they got don't put a plural on that. Like,
unfortunately, this game hasn't even happened, and the Yugoslavian team just got wiped.
But what I do want to say, Lil Pen, is the rest of the world better be lucky that Yugoslavia is not still a thing.
That's for sure, because you know what? It would shock people to realize the population of those countries. It's honestly astonishing. When you look at countries like Serbia, we're talking like 8 million people, man. 8 million people. That's less than the population of New York City. I mean, the notion that you have produced the best tennis player in the world and the best basketball player in the world in a country of 8 million people is insanity. You look at countries like, I understand Lithuania is not part of Yugoslavia, but consider Also, Lithuania, very small country. The fact that they have produced Arvydas Sabonis, Domantas Sabonis, and all the, great basketball players. It's just these are very basketball obsessed nations. Like literally, they're like go to any of the games in these countries, and it's like these people live and die by this, and the players are really soaking up that passion. So basketball is like religion over there. It's important.
Yo, Culture Saunders sent through a super chat. Penn, apparently you're giving Mars a run for his money. He said Penn's voice is mad soothing. No pause. I don't care.
All right.
Hey, you got all that? Right. What kind of mic? You got the Shure MV7?
It's crazy.
I do. You know what? I know
my mics.
All right. Good for you, man. My girl got me this for my last Christmas. I was not going to invest $500 in a mic, but she's like, "You're doing this now. You're doing this." Pensar basketball grew so much, and she was like, "You got to invest in this, right?" So I got to give her a shout out for that for sure. So
W lady, W girl. That's what's up.
All right, y'all. Let's go ahead and get into it, man. Let's make this happen. All right. We're gonna start from the top. I got the order. Hold on, let me go ahead and pull that up. Got the order right here. And
I know you're using Hanzo's, bro. I know you're not using Hanzo's.
I didn't know Joker was from Yugoslavia. I didn't know that.
He's Serbian.
The tennis player.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, Djokovic?
I didn't know Djokovic was from Yugoslavia. I thought he was
from is he from the same country as Jokic?
He's Serbian, yeah.
That's what I thought. I thought he was, yeah.
Yeah.
So this is the order we rocking with right now, y'all. We got Ox, Mars, Penn, Chill, and Doodoo.
W.
All right. The first person that we rocking with, Ox, is on you. You got Quentin Grimes.
Quentin Grimes.
Can't even get him in his right jersey. Yeah.
Well, sometimes things don't update. Oh, also, just full transparency from the beginning, it might be some people that are on here twice. If they're on here twice, we'll just skip over them. It also might be somebody that may be considered technically a forward, or they might be a forward and a guard, whatever, but you might classify them as a forward. If they're on here, we're ranking them.
You got Scotty Barnes on here?
No.
Why?
Should he be on here?
He should be on here. Basketball Reference has him as a shooting guard.
You know, just for you, my man, Penn, just because you are soothing and serenading the people in the crowd with your voice, I'll ask Scotty Barnes.
You can't get Johnny Davis on here? Nah.
I know you didn't just say Scotty Barnes and Johnny Davis in the same back-to-back sentences. You gotta introduce a sentence to pause between those two players.
Johnny Davis was a top 10 pick. You better put some respect.
Bro, he shouldn't have been a top 100 pick if there was a
Johnny
third
Davis
round.
Was a top 10 pick. I don't know, sorry.
Also, once again, you guys see that the new tiers are 5 stars, 4 stars, 3 stars, 2 stars, 1 star. Do we want to discuss this right now so we can clear any blurred lines on what this might look like?
So one star is garbage.
Yeah.
2 stars average.
Yep.
3 star is good. 4 stars is what, great?
All stars.
I'd say a 3 star is like a starting level guard that would be starting on bad teams and probably a rotation guy.
Okay, define garbage, because I feel like we're not really ranking garbage here, right? So we're talking like think of it. I don't know if this helps. Think of it like on a contender. What position would they take on a contender, right? So if a 5 star is like out of the rotation on a contender, a 4 star is a fringe rotation, a 3rd star is a what? Like,
I thought
starter
5 star was the best.
But just
my bad. Other way around. So the 5 star is like the best player on a championship team. The 4th star is like a supporting one of the top 3 guys on a championship team. Is that fair to say? And then the 3 star is like a rotation piece.
Could be starting.
No, he's like
starter.
Yeah,
starter.
Yeah,
maybe he could be a starter, but he's not one of your top 3 guys. Or top 2 guys, so it would be like your Aaron Gordon. He would be the Aaron Gordon of the Denver Nuggets, right? He's not one of your top 3 guys,
of contribution, yeah.
Right. And then your 2 star is a rotation guy or a key rotation guy, and your 1 star is like fringe rotation. Is that fair?
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah,
I think the Nuggets are the perfect example too. Obviously, Jokic is a 5, Jamal is a 4. As a 3,
Would KCP be a 3-star?
And if someone's really garbage, can we just refuse to rank them? Can we just say no stars? We just say we don't put them on the board.
You can try. You can try. You can try, but LeBron be acting like Mussolini, bro. He gonna make you. Tripping, bro.
Do y'all want me to add a no star on here?
No. We just don't put them on the board. You just say like you're not on the board. You just get left. You don't get picked.
Being a 0-star, not getting.
I got Quentin Grimes 2-star though, man.
For real. All right.
You think he's starting off bad, Pin?
It's not my pick.
You could look. The one person that you could tell up here that was trash is Ox, and he'll understand. We'll all understand.
I like Quentin Grimes.
I like Quentin Grimes.
I think he's a 2-star.
Are you a Knicks fan?
I like the Knicks a lot.
He's a Bogdanovich fan.
He liked the Knicks because of Bojan.
So we said 2-star was.
I like the Knicks because of Julius Randle. So Bojan coming over there just made it even better. And OG.
No, OG's great, but what I'm saying is like he's a key rotation player on a championship team for real.
I don't know how did that
because he's not a key rotation player on the Detroit Pistons right now.
I'm telling you the truth. When I was going all over that, I was eating these fruit because I'm ranking them how I want to rank them.
Okay.
All right. All right. So we got Quentin Grimes just came off the board. Ox just threw Quentin Grimes up there. Next, we have Jamal Murray.
No stars messed up. Y'all don't got to do people like that.
Jamal Murray, Mars. What do you think? 4?
I like it.
Damn.
Y'all love Jamal Murray. I love Jamal Murray too.
You think you should? I it's between 4 and 5 for me.
Yeah, I love Jamal Murray.
Yeah, it's just like to me, it's like how are you the gap between Luka and tier 2?
That's what I'm saying.
Gotta be huge. Like you're not leaving any room here. You know what I mean? Like if you put in Jamal Murray at tier 2, your tier 2 is gonna be like 20 guys.
Well, we can say when you pick them, you can also pick where you want to put them in terms of order of the tier.
Also, let's not rank based on somebody else's rankings too, though. Like just because somebody put somebody else there, don't mean we have to. You know what I mean? Like if you might have somebody that you think is better than Jamal Murray, but you think that person's a 3-star, you can still put him in 3-star.
I'm just saying, like if you put in Jamal Murray in the same tier as Steph Curry or James Harden or Donovan Mitchell, like how you know what I mean? Like
I understand for sure. That makes
you put Jamal Murray with Donovan Mitchell?
I don't.
So you put Donovan Mitchell above, right?
I would, yeah.
Okay, so that's my question. So if you put Donovan Mitchell above him, then Donovan Mitchell is a 5-star for you. But that means you got to put Donovan Mitchell in the same category as Luka Doncic, which I think.
Well, no, because I think Donovan Mitchell's a 4-star. So if it was on me to pick Donovan Mitchell, I would still put him 4-star, even though Jamal Murray's there.
So Jamal Murray for you is a 3-star.
A very, very high 3-star.
This is the problem. This is the problem that I'm bringing up. Okay. Anyways,
but let's not rank based on who's in the tier. Let's just rank based on the stars. Well, you know what we think as far as the stars go. You know what I mean?
Ron, you can pick how who goes in what order, right? Like you can put someone to the left of someone afterwards.
We can debate this after. Yeah, we're just gonna go through the list and then we talk about it after.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, we could talk about it during certain picks too. But hold on, what do you mean? What do you mean, Slim?
No, I'm saying just for the sake of being
if Donovan Mitchell comes out, can you put Donovan Mitchell above?
In front of?
Yeah, we do that. Yes, we do.
Left and right is what I mean in the same tier.
Okay. But that's what I'm saying. Like if you put Donovan Mitchell a 5-star, you putting Donovan Mitchell and Luka Doncic in the same conversation.
Yeah, and you just put Luka at the front of it, and Donovan as far down as you think he should be.
Yo, Pin, somebody's gonna be in Luka's tier, and it's gonna be people that are on the same tiers that are.
True.
It's a clear gap.
It's him and Shea. That's it.
It's probably going to be guys that play defense.
Oh, damn.
But that's what.
Stop it.
Fair enough.
All right, but it's on you next.
The gun.
You got Kevin Huerter.
I got Kevin Huerter.
Yeah.
Ah, jeez. Firmly 4-star. 1-star.
Oh.
Firmly a 1-star.
4-star. I was going to say, damn.
I was about to say that started early. All right.
Talk about Donovan Mitchell, someone else being on the same team, and just throw Kevin Huerter up there with
I like Kevin Huerter a hell of a lot more than I like Quentin Grimes. So this is making me sad.
I put them both on too.
Jeez.
All right, y'all. We have next up. It is on you, Chill, and you have Emmanuel Quickly. Sorry, y'all. The jersey updates didn't come in. You know how that goes.
I put him behind Herter.
Behind Herter.
What?
I think Herter's better than Emmanuel Quickly.
I think Emmanuel Quickly the second best
Quickly's
player on this list.
But not behind him. I meant flip that.
I think
You think he's a fringe rotation player?
Yeah. He's definitely better than Quentin Grimes. I'll tell you that. He's definitely better than him.
So then, okay,
Definitely better than Quentin.
He thinks Quentin Grimes is high. That's what it is.
You think Quentin Grimes is no star?
I do. I think Quentin Grimes is too high. I don't think Quentin Grimes is a 2-star.
Can we move Quentin Grimes to 1-star if Ox wants to move him?
Nah,
if we all agree with it,
you know what? Here's an idea, just to keep this coherent.
Flip flop Quentin Grimes in IQ.
If a particular pick is crazy to all of us, can 4 votes just get it like moved to the right tier?
We're creating checks and balances. Man.
We got to create like some sort of Mussolini style, like type of like. We got to cut some heads here, man.
I mean, we can veto and overthrow something.
I like Quentin Grimes at the back of the 2 stars, bro. I do. I think Quentin Grimes is the back of the 2 stars.
Honestly, man, we're gonna be talking about this an hour, and we're gonna realize that Quentin Grimes at 2-star messed up this whole thing. It just did because everyone is thinking if he's 2-star, then like Shea is like 20 stars.
Not created equal.
I mean, are we gonna vote on the IQ? Because I think I would hard.
I would put IQ at 3-star.
I have no idea how Quentin Grimes is better than IQ.
Bro, nobody does.
Here's what we're gonna do, and this is typically what we do. We're gonna get all the players done with, and at the end, you guys will get a chance to vote for who gets a chance to be moved. So you could say, all right, Quentin Grimes, you know what? I want to put you in a no-star tier. Yeah.
All right.
So let's make sure we're not ranking guys based off of other people's positions, rather just
okay. Cool. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That'll help. All right. I'm glad we'll have a chance to correct it at the end.
All right. It's on you, Slim, and it turns out that next you have Desmond Bane.
I'll put Desmond Bane at 3.
Okay, the Pitbull is going to the 3rd star.
Pitbull.
That's where I had him too.
All right, moving along, Ox. It's on you, and you got Cam Thomas. This one kind of tough. I ain't gonna lie.
This is a tough one.
God, Cam Thomas is a baller. I don't too much care for Cam Thomas' skill.
Empty calories, bro.
A lot of them, but you can't sleep on the
all calories.
Miller Lite.
He definitely got 2-star talent though.
Oh,
that sounds so disrespectful.
He's got 3-star talent with no star impact. So where does that put him?
I'm gonna have to put Cam Thomas in at the front of the 1-stars.
Boy,
he's better than Emmanuel Quickly,
bro.
I didn't put Emmanuel Quickly there.
The IQ shade is making my heart cry right now. Okay,
hey, look, I'm ranking the players. I'm not looking at who else is on the list.
I'm just gonna can I issue a formal apology to Emmanuel Quickly for this disrespect right here?
I don't know if he's gonna see it, bro.
I didn't put Emmanuel Quickly there either.
He might.
He does actually, but yeah.
Everyone in the chat just ignore Quentin Grimes. He's not the barometer of anything. He's just
that's what I'm saying. Y'all rank off the stars. Stop ranking off the players.
Bro, I don't feel like Quentin Grimes' family would have put him at 2-star, man.
That's crazy. Yo.
I like Quentin Grimes. I don't understand Quentin Grimes.
Crazy.
I like Quentin Grimes last season.
Bro, someone needs to introduce that Scotty Barnes clip of Quentin Grimes, just telling Quentin Grimes, "You is not him." Yeah. That's exactly what
Scotty Barnes is a 6'10" point guard.
We're ranking Cam Thomas right now. Why are y'all still talking about Quentin Grimes?
Mars, it's you. You got Bradley Beal, Mars.
Because I'm seeing him over Emmanuel Quickly, and it's making my head hurt. Like it's just hard.
Wait, so what was the thing that 5 stars is that the best player on like a championship team?
Yeah, exactly.
So 3-star is what, the 4th best player or something?
Is a starter,
like a good starter.
So like your 4 stars, like your Chris Bosh tier, like your complimentary piece, your Pau Gasol, right?
Bradley Beal is a 3-star then.
For real?
Okay. Yes, he is.
Crazy.
Yes, he is.
But above Jamal Murray or behind him?
I said 3.
He said 3.
3.
Not 4. 3.
Oh, I thought
above Desmond Bane or behind him?
Above.
What?
Easy above.
He's better than Desmond Bane.
Yeah, I think so.
Every day of the week.
Mars.
I'm thinking, damn.
We're talking about now. Let's get off. Let's get off this. Let's get off.
We got credit guys for 5 minutes. I can't think about Bradley Beal for 20
Can we get off Bradley Beal being a 30-game guy? Can we do that for a second, Ron? Can we do that?
I'm gonna say behind
Bradley Beal being a 30-game guy. Can we get off that? We're talking about Bradley Beal in 2024. Where is Bradley Beal on this guard list?
I'm gonna say behind Desmond Bane. I'm gonna say behind.
All right.
I'm gonna say behind.
Firmly behind. Desmond Bane is super underrated, man. Small market bias.
All right.
Get over how his arms are too short.
He's crazy underrated.
Bothers
Man.
me.
Like he's a better defender and a way better passer than people give him credit for, and like a really good shooter. Like the Suns would be much better if they was on that team.
Desmond Bane
over Bradley Beal.
Easy. It's not even close.
I don't disagree. Now that you do say that, it does bring me back to actually how high I am on.
Wait a minute, Ron. Okay, I know we got company, but let's not act like we don't live here. So we're talking about we're talking about Bradley Beal, who is healthy. Bradley Beal, because don't forget Desmond Bane has missed most of the season. It's not like Desmond Bane been balling all year.
Yeah.
So if we're putting both of these dudes together, and both of these dudes are healthy, you telling me that Desmond Bane clears Bradley Beal?
No,
Yes,
no
sir.
way.
No.
Hell no, he doesn't. No way he does not. Absolutely not. Bradley Beal.
He's a better defender. He's a better passer. Bradley Beal is a smoother scorer, but that's it. That's what you're talking about. You're talking eye test. Everything you're talking is eye test. You're talking about
you're doing better at basketball after all you say to me.
Wait, I want to make sure I heard you correctly. One more time. Say that again. What you just said.
he's a better defender.
Okay.
He is a considerably better defender. He's a better playmaker.
Better. I'm pretty sure I heard that. I'm pretty sure I heard.
Beal and Desmond Bane have played the same amount of games this year.
First of all,
Desmond Bane steal anything. His arms are a foot long apiece.
Right, he got alligator arms. That's
okay,
he doesn't play the passing lanes, but
he's a good defender.
Yeah, moving his feet
Bradley
though.
Beal
Desmond isn't a ball defender.
Bradley Beal isn't a bad passer. Bradley Beal is actually a good passer. I haven't seen
Desmond Bane. Desmond Bane in games that Ja Morant missed last year was running point for that team, and he was great at it. They were winning games without Ja Morant. Why do you think Ja Morant? Like, I mean, have you seen the difference between the Grizzlies with Desmond Bane and the Grizzlies without Desmond Bane? Because I tell you right now, the Grizzlies with Desmond Bane right now are not that much more talented outside of Desmond Bane than the Wizards were last year with Bradley Beal. But I will tell you that Desmond Bane has been keeping them in games basically against the top of the West.
And one of the main reasons why the Phoenix Suns aren't where they should be, which is at the top of the Western Conference, is because Bradley Beal has not been healthy for the majority of the season.
I'm not saying he's a bum. I'm just saying I think Desmond Bane does.
You said Desmond Bane clears him. No,
because I think Desmond Bane is one of the top 30 players in the NBA, and I don't think Bradley Beal is one of the top 30 players.
One of the what?
Yes,
top 30.
Top 30 players.
Okay, I ain't mad at you. I might not disagree.
35, top 35. League's talented as hell.
Did you say that as like, I have a feeling he's in that range, or do you actually have a list and Desmond Bane is in the top 30?
I mean, honestly, the health is concerning me a little bit. Maybe not top 30, maybe top 35. But Bradley Beal is effectively nowhere close to top 35 for me. He's like outside top 50.
Is J-Dub on this list, Ron? Is J-Dub on this list?
No, he's going to be with the Forward.
Because of the injuries over the last.
Is J-Dub better than Desmond Bane too, or is Desmond Bane better than J-Dub?
Desmond Bane's better than
J-Dub.
Jalen Williams?
Yes.
I mean,
I don't know about that.
It's
in terms of what you provide for your team overall value.
It's close, man. But like,
J-Dub's a legit 3-level scorer, and he's a guy that can guard 1 through 4 at a high level. They run the same sets for him when Shai's off the floor for J-Dub.
He's definitely a better bucket getter. He's definitely a better
100%.
If you guys are forgetting about Desmond Bane, due to Ja Morant being injured this year and them not being in the playoff push and all of that, we so quickly forget about guys when we don't see him. Out of sight, out of mind.
I'm not forgetting about Desmond Bane. I'm just bringing in the facts of what they are capable of doing for their individual teams.
I'm saying I even forgot about Desmond Bane, and when he first said it, he was like, "Oh, Desmond Bane is better than Bradley Beal." I almost booted you off the show, Pin. I shouldn't be saying that, but I almost did, Mussolini style. But then I thought about it, and I'm like, I remember how good Desmond Bane is and how impactful he is on both ends.
How long has Desmond Bane been good for, though? Sorry,
how long has he been good for?
How long has he been alive for?
And I'm not saying Bradley Beal
he's been good since he got in the league. Like he's been a good player.
Yes,
he's been good. He's become a great player for sure. I just and granted, I'm saying that, and I'm about to bring up a guy who's really only been a true high level scorer for a season. But I just think like when you see what J-Dub has done this year, and the different ways he can affect the game, not just because of his talent and ability, but just his physical stature as a defender. Like, I'm sorry, Desmond Bane can be as good of a defender as he wants, but J-Dub's already better than him. And even not to bring up ceiling when we're talking about current players, but like just what he can do physically from a defensive standpoint is just eons away from what Desmond Bane could ever dream of doing.
Slim, I think a lot of that is because you watch it every night.
I'm just curious. How many Desmond games? How many Desmond Bane games have you watched this year? I'm just curious.
This year, one. I'll be
last year. What about last year? What about
last year? I watched a lot of Desmond Bane when they were the 2 seed, so 3 years ago.
Okay,
but I watched a lot of them when Ja was out. And you're right. You're right about him running the one, and then I think part of their success was because they didn't skip a beat.
People were honest. I mean, Ja Morant is elite talent, elite. I think Ja Morant is better than Bradley Beal by far as well. I will say this: there were people who legitimately asked, "Are the Grizzlies better without Ja Morant?" No, they're not better without Ja Morant. It's because Desmond Bane is that good. Now, I don't know if per 100 numbers carry any currency here, but I just want to read this out for a second because I think it's relevant. Okay, Desmond Bane per 100 possessions, points 34.5. Bradley Beal 27.8. Assists 7.5. Bradley Beal 7. He clears them on rebounds too. He clears them on free throw percentage, 3-point percentage. What more do you want? He clears them on box plus minus, value of a replacement. They both played the same number of games, right? Both played 39 games this year. Both started 39 games. Both played 39 games. They're almost dead even in minutes. Desmond Bane 1.8 value of a replacement. Bradley Beal 0.3. I'm sorry. He clears him, and I mean it. Because Desmond Bane is doing this with way worse teammates. He's not playing with KD. And if he was playing with KD, he'd be better. Because that's the thing about great players. They're better when they play with other great players.
Well, you just told me.
You're bringing in totals.
Can we understand that Bradley Beal will score less than Desmond Bane on a per possession basis because he shares the floor with KD and Bradley?
That's number one. That's number one. Number two, to get back to what you just said about Cam Thomas, who is in Brooklyn doing empty calories because he's on a bad team. So why doesn't that same thing work for Desmond Bane, who's on a whack team in Memphis?
Because I saw Desmond Bane do exactly what you're saying he's not doing this year, last year, when he had a half-decent team. He had Steven Adams. He was missing Ja Morant last year, too. And he carried. When I say carried, I mean he carried. And he wasn't playing with superstars. He wasn't playing with superstars. The best player he was playing with was Jaren Jackson.
Right.
Okay. Jaren Jackson is not KD, even at this stage. Jaren Jackson is not Devin Booker. So when Bradley Beal had a roster around him that featured Kyle Kuzma and like scrubs, let's say scrubs in Washington, and Daniel Gafford's no scrub, but we're seeing what Daniel Gafford is capable of when you put him next to a great guard. You're seeing it. He hasn't missed a shot in 5 games. So that's what I'm saying. Bradley Beal had that same dude, and he was missing tons of shots. So what I'm saying is when you put great players around other great players and great finishers, you put great creators around great finishers. I'm saying he's a better defender. He's a better creator. He's younger. Bradley Beal to me, and he's younger, and he's a better shooter. So no shade on Bradley Beal. Bradley Beal is awesome. He's a really good player. But Desmond Bane is really freaking good. And I feel like people don't realize that.
Yeah, I'm bought in on Beal, but not J-Dub.
He might have convinced you.
I don't mind saying Desmond Bane's better than Beal. The clear thing is what was.
I do like that. Yeah. Now that I'm hearing that logic, you might have convinced me. The younger part is what pushes me over the top.
That's right now. Younger just means better going forward long time.
Right. But if I'm better right now, that actually helps going forward.
Yeah,
I agree. I put Desmond Bane above Bradley Beal. The clear thing is just like,
that's what I'm thinking. That's where I'm at.
That gets into.
Well, here's the thing. The gap between
we got Bane above Beal. Like that's what.
Like here's the thing. The gap between player 30 and 40 is way bigger than the gap between player 80 and 90. Is what I'm saying. Right? The gap gets bigger the higher you go up this list. So the gap between Michael Jordan and the second best player in the NBA was way bigger than the gap between, I don't know, Greg Ostertag and the 136th best player. So when I say clear, like Jordan cleared Karl Malone, clear.
He was better than Malone. It wasn't.
But Malone won an MVP.
It was a conversation, but he was better than Malone.
Exactly, exactly. So that's what I'm saying. Like you know, and it's like that's not disrespect to Karl Malone. You know, for basketball reasons, that's not disrespect to Karl Malone or Hakeem Olajuwon or anybody who was second to Jordan or Patrick or even Patrick Ewing. You know, who was second to Shaq or third, fourth to Shaq.
Back on that, Pin. I even got to push back on that. Like MJ didn't clear Karl Malone or Hakeem.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
Wow.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. He wasn't Malone. As good as Malone was, he wasn't Jordan. He wasn't Jordan. No, he wasn't.
No, he wasn't Jordan, but Jordan didn't clear him though. Jordan didn't.
Yes,
Jordan
he
didn't. Jordan cleared Malone. Jordan didn't clear.
It was going to be semantics. I
just can't sit through that. I can't sit through that. You know what I mean?
Fellas, we can continue our conversation. I don't have no problem. Let's continue the debate. We just have to continue to rank players.
We just got to continue to rank players.
Pin, it is on you. And by the way, for what it's worth, I ran a poll with J-Dub and Bane. Right now, J-Dub is beating Bane. But I also ran a poll with Bane and Beal, and the chat chose Bane over Beal. By the way, go vote on this poll and like it as well.
I feel like a lot of people are going to vote for J-Dub, and I appreciate J-Dub. I realize he's a really good player, and I think he's better than Beal as well. But I will say a lot of people are watching OKC right now. Not a lot of people are watching Memphis, and not a lot of people watching Memphis last year either.
That's a really good point for sure.
Yeah,
I've only watched 2.5 Memphis games this year, and I'm gonna openly say so. But Desmond Bane is definitely a baller. I want to say this too, Chitchat. MJ didn't clear Barkley either.
Okay,
that's all.
Is Vince Williams on this list? Vince Williams Jr.
No. Does he need to be on here?
If Quentin Grimes is on here.
Remind me towards the end, Mars.
It's all right. So I don't think the chat's gonna complain that Vince Williams Jr. isn't on here. I was just asking.
All right, Pin, it's on you, and you got Ant Simons. Also, shout out our new subscribers and shout out all of our new members. Everybody that's chatting right now for that $1.99. Shout out to you. You really in the game right now.
You're really gonna hate me when you hear where I put Anthony Simons. I'm putting him at 2-star.
Above Quinn.
Yeah.
Quentin Grimes is not there.
Way better than Quentin Grimes.
Hey, so Mars, this is a figment of our imagination. This guy right here going up at 3.
I make 2-star was empty until Anthony Simons just got put on it.
Yo, look at Quentin. Look how happy he is to be right here on this 2-star tier.
Bro, he's gonna move all the way. He's gonna move off the list.
Look at Quentin. My man is juiced to be up there. All right. We moving along. Next on the list is on you, Chill, and you have Fred VanVleet.
Mr. Assist turnover ratio.
He ain't talking about Tyus Jones.
You might as well call him Mr. 41. You must call him Mr. $41 million.
Chill out, man. Chill out.
Hey, are you missing Fred up there?
Nope. I literally ran him out of town. Check the receipts. I'm not kidding. I literally, like, his family was super pissed at me. I'm not kidding.
Man, hold up. Man. We got to get that story, but we're gonna get it towards the tail end of the show. All right,
for sure.
Also, you got your top 10 all time, right?
Top 10 all time?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Like your top 10 all time players, like
of all time.
Greatest players ever?
Do you have a list of the top?
Do I have? Yeah.
Okay. We're gonna get that later in the show too. We need those receipts as well. But Chill, you got Fred. Where's he going?
2-star.
2-star. You have idea where? Front, back?
He's definitely behind. He's definitely behind. He's definitely in front of Grimes. No doubt about that.
Damn.
Was Fred VanVleet ever an NBA all NBA like defender, or was that just like narrative and they just slipped it in there? Because I didn't think he ever deserved it.
No, he didn't.
He was a very good defender.
I don't think
he was a very good defender.
He's got very good hands.
He was second team, I think 2 years in a row, or just one.
Fred VanVleet has not made an all.
He's never made an all defensive team.
Yeah, he has.
No, he hasn't.
I will bet you $1 million he has not made one.
Second team.
Okay, bet $1 million right now. I know I'm
Slim.
right.
Hey, Slim, bet that mustache.
Hey, I'll do a stash bet. I'll shave it.
Okay, go ahead. Remember he said that.
Bro,
I knew he hasn't made it.
I promise you, I cover the Raptors. He has not made a second team all defense. Otherwise, it would be all he talked about.
Get that from Slim? That he was the all-league defender. Where you getting that?
I just thought I saw it. I thought I saw it.
No.
I'm not making it up. I just thought I saw it.
Let me give you the highlights of Fred VanVleet's
allowed
career.
to be mistaken.
He's an all-star. He was a one-time all-star because he beat the crap out of really depleted teams for half a season and then fell right off. And he won one vote from Hubie Brown for the NBA Finals MVP because Hubie Brown is crazy.
Hey man, he's old, man.
Are you saying he's senile? Mars.
I don't know if he's senile or if he's crazy, but honestly, or if he has something against Kawhi Leonard. But giving an MVP vote to Fred VanVleet over Kawhi Leonard, are you kidding me?
Want to be different. That's all it is. They
but be different. Be different in the bedroom. Go be different in the garden. What are you being different on and robbing somebody of like after Kawhi?
The garden in the bedroom or the garden in the backyard?
Garden wherever. I don't care. I don't care what he does on his off time, but like, why are you robbing?
Yeah,
honestly, Kawhi put up one of the top 5 all-time playoff runs, and you rob him Finals MVP unanimous. Crazy, man. And then I got to listen to Fred VanVleet for 4 years say he got he got an MVP vote. That pissed me off.
Hey, I'm looking at the chat. I did not confirm this bet.
You said you would.
I said I will do a stash bet. I didn't say I am betting my stash right now.
You said I'd shave it. That's what you said.
Yeah, I would for a bet that I agree to.
This is crazy.
No, it's not crazy. It's not crazy.
This is
I bet the players on the high school team that I coach at. That if this guy gets a dunk in a game, I'll shave the stash.
This is crazy.
You don't understand that a bet always ends with a handshake or something where
let's do a handshake from me in England to the USA.
Or if you let me finish talking, we could establish that I said
I do love.
What do you know? Mars interrupted me again. What's going on?
I can't trust the words you say anymore. I'm sorry. It's
Slim, I do want to say
you got to know you lost that bet when he went straight to $1 million.
I knew
he was so sure. I feel like I would have just.
You can't lose a bet that you never agreed to.
That's fair. That's fair.
Slim, okay. Just be lucky that it's not certain characters that used to be on this show that are here today, because you will be feeling the consequences of, crawfishing a bet that you just did right now.
Hey, man, lions don't concern themselves with the opinions of sheep. Quote my king.
Hold on. Oh, I see what you did there. All right. Shout out to all the sheep that's on the show. But Slim, you have Dennis Schroeder next.
Oh, man. I'd probably put him at the end of one.
End of one.
I mean, at this point, I don't think he's a contributor. 3 years ago. I mean, even say last year, he's probably closer to the front of one or maybe at the end of two, but right now, he's nothing. I'm tempted to say no star, but I think Schroeder can still contribute at an NBA level.
1 star is fringe rotation on a championship team. Yeah, I think that's fair.
All right, Ox, you got Terry Rozier.
Scary Terry, huh? Let's put Scary Terry in there with those 2 stars.
Fringe rotation on the championship. That's Reggie Jackson.
No, that's 1 star. It's fringe rotation. 2 star is rotation. Right.
Mind you, I didn't
rotation.
I don't know. I don't know what y'all got the stars being.
That's just how we go. I'm just doing no vibes. I'm gonna be honest, but
I think Scary Terry's a top of the 2-tier type of guy.
All right,
you think he's better than Fred VanVleet, eh?
I'm not looking at Fred. I'm not looking at who's in there.
He's going on vibes.
You said he's top of the 2nd tier, so you are technically
no.
But he's top of your 2nd tier.
Hold on. Let me tell him what I'm saying, Mars. What I'm saying is that I know what I call a 2-star, and I think that he's at the very top of that.
Okay, so
vibes.
You want me to put him at the front, like ahead of Anthony?
That's fine.
All right.
See.
Scary Terry at the top of the 2-star.
Not mad at it.
We got my man Javon.
Javon Carter's here. Okay.
Some people got invitations to the party. It was crazy. I don't know how they got here, but they're here. Javon Carter, Mars, it's on you. Where should he go?
This must be old. This got Javon Carter on the Bucks and stuff, and Fred on the Raptors. That's why these guys are here, because Javon was okay last year. Is he the first no-star?
I mean, I put him at the bottom of 1. I think he's around the same level of contribution as Schroeder right now.
Damn, I don't want to put him no-star. That's so tough.
Now you got a heart, Mars. That's crazy.
I've always had a heart, man. I'm a nice guy.
It's the Grinch, bro. It's still tiny.
No, I'm a nice guy, but considering Johnny Davis isn't on the list, I'll put him in no-star.
All right.
It's the same dude.
Is Killian Hayes on here?
Unfortunately, he's not on the roster, so I left him off.
I was just because if he was there, I would have moved Javon up.
So no star.
Yeah, no star.
All right, no star it is. Penn, you have Gabe Vincent.
1 star.
He was close to joining Javon Carter for.
I mean, he should.
Games has Gabe Vincent,
but he started in the finals last year, so I'm just going to be respectful of that and just put him at 1 star.
Javon Carter would start on that team if he was on the team instead of Gabe Vincent.
Where do you want me to put Gabe?
That's not true.
Ahead of Dennis Schroeder.
All right.
Who would have started instead of Javon Carter last year for the Heat if Gabe Vincent wasn't on the team?
I feel like
you're just saying that Javon Carter would be a better starter for that team in that situation.
No, I said he would have started if Gabe Vincent wasn't there. That's what I said, word for word, verbatim. That's exactly what I said. If Gabe Vincent wasn't there, he would have been starting for the Heat, for the team that went.
But if he and Gabe Vincent was there, who would start?
My point was because you said he was a starter on a team that went to the finals, and I'm saying because the team got hurt, he was a starter on the team that went to the finals.
You think Javon Carter would have started over
Duncan?
Kyle Lowry?
Yes.
Yeah, Kyle would have started. No.
If Javon Carter was in that situation, he would have started for that team on the
have.
road to the finals because Kyle Lowry got benched because of how bad he was playing.
But he wouldn't have started. I'm sorry.
Okay. I respectfully disagree.
All right, moving along. It's on you, Chill, and you have the babyface assassin, Stephen Curry. What you gonna do, Chill?
5 star.
You sure about that, Chill?
Yes, 5
is
star.
Is this something to think about?
5 star.
I like how you went 4 star just to see how you felt about it.
We got our first 5-star player, Stephen Curry. As you can see, we only got 1 4-star right now, and it's Jamal Murray. Clearly, he's happy. You see him looking up to the heavens right now in his picture because he's the only 4-star right now. At the 3-star tier, we got Desmond Bane, who happens to be ahead of Bradley Beal, but they're both 3 stars. And then you see the 2 stars, the 1 star. And then we got 1 lone no star in Javon Carter. But as of right now, we got a couple super chats. So let me go ahead and jump over to this side and show some love to the viewers. Shout out to everybody that's viewing the video. If you haven't liked it yet, go ahead and like it. Today, we will be on playback.tv. If you haven't been there yet, go to playback.tv, join the Player's Choice room. And today, Chilltown, the great Chilltown, will be watching the Bucks versus the Celtics at 7:15 Eastern time. Y'all be sure to join the room. Obviously, you know, this is a showdown between the 2 best teams in the East. Mm-hmm. Well, the best team in the East versus the second best team in the East. Mm-hmm. The Bucks versus the Celtics. So y'all be sure to tune in. Y'all already know what this matchup entails. It's gonna be a good game. Chilltown, you excited for this?
I am, I am. I think that this Bucks team, I'm on the record saying I think they fool's gold, but this Celtic team is the most complete team in the league right now. And I think they handle Milwaukee tonight. I do.
Well, Giannis ain't playing. I'd hope so.
Oh, he's not? What the hell?
Injured.
That's very disappointing.
Yeah, that does take away a little bit of.
Thank you, Mars. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Oh, so you wanted the surprise of him not playing? I guess.
You're hurting the brand.
Hey,
I heard they're better without him.
Even though I did see them blow
3-1 without him this year. I think.
Yes, I was about to say I did see them blow Phoenix out without him on the crew. So
I heard when you get Giannis out of Dame's way, he can actually play some basketball. That's just I'm not saying I believe that. I'm just reporting the news, y'all. That's it.
Right.
That's accurate. Dame gonna have a nice little 35 tonight.
Yeah. All right, y'all. Drink More Water came through with the super chat and said, Buddy brought up a good point. And that's not Buddy in the chat. I think we're talking about Penn. He said, out of the top 10 players in the league today, which of them have been swayed by analytics? Most of the best players are anti-analytics. So how is it ruining b-ball IQ?
Is IQ only limited to
the top 10? There's over 450.
No disrespect to drink more water, because I don't think that's the point he's making. But we need to understand the game of basketball expands beyond just the superstars in the NBA. Like, there's more to the game than what Kevin Durant and LeBron James and Steph Curry are doing. Way more. Man. What about Mike Conley? What about him? What about D'Angelo Russell? Those guys. I'm not saying
talk about Mike Muscala.
But I'm saying like IQ extends beyond the superstars in the league just because they aren't swayed by analytics. Technically, I've always said that the role players are the ones who have to follow the more analytical approach. They're the ones who have to spot up in the corner and catch and shoot threes. They're the ones who, like, if you're not like a microwave scorer off the bench, for the most part, you're the one being told not to take mid-range jumpers. That's you. Unless you're like KCP on the Nuggets or whatever. But like, for the most part, they're the ones who have to abide by that. They're the ones being affected by analytics, not the superstars. Because the superstars are able to make shots at a high enough clip to where they can justify whatever they do.
Facts. Morris, I've been trying to say that since I first got around here. It's not all about Kevin Durant and LeBron James, but then everybody
you guys hate Brandon Bass so much.
Ox loves bums. He just likes role players. He don't know ball.
Yeah, it's more than just the stupid.
But we also got to take under consideration that those guys do affect the game. I mean, don't get me wrong, Mars. You made a very valid point, but those guys like Kevin Durant, guys like Luka, Kevin Durant's peak, which is like what, 14 to 19. I mean, his long ball doubled. That affected the rest of the guys. Luka came into the league shooting almost 9 long balls a game. That affects the other guys. That's analytics. And the fact that a guy sees a guy cut into the basket where the best player on the team is shooting 9 threes a game. Am I going to get the ball to the best player that's shooting 9 threes a game? Or am I going to get the ball to the guy like Luke Garza cutting to the basket? If you miss Luka wide open at the top, I'm probably going to come out the game if I miss Luka wide open at the top.
KD peaked at about 6.5 attempts, which is nothing substantial considering in 2011 he was shooting 5. So, and now he's back to shooting 5. So he's been relatively consistent on how many threes he takes.
Mars, when he walked in the door, he was shooting 3.
Yeah, because he was shooting 29%.
Right.
And then he got better at it and was shooting 5 by year 4. And then again 5 in year 5, and then 4 in year 6, and then 6 in year 7 when he won the MVP, then 6 again, but then he got hurt that year. Then 7, then 5, then 6, then 5, then 5.5, then 5. Then 5 again. Like he stays between 5 and 6 for the last 12 years. Like that's just what he does. It's KD.
And I like to think that so that doesn't affect analytics though.
No, because he gets to the rim less. If anything, his game has become less analytically inclined because he gets to the rim less now more than ever. So
less now.
But now is when we're at the peak of analytics. Like even 2016, the analytics movement was beginning, but the biggest boom from the analytics movement is corner threes. If you look at how many corner threes were being taken in 2016 versus now, that's a substantial difference. Teams are trying to get corner threes. You can look at like 2016, teams weren't shooting a bunch of corner threes. There was more threes being taken, but corner threes is what's really sparked the offensive efficiency. Corner threes, layups, and other threes in general, but corner threes, layups, and free throws. That's the biggest spark of analytics. And you can look, 2016 is a different game. Go back and watch a game from 2016. It's drastically different to what we have now. And that's 8 years ago.
They actually run action. They actually run action for guys to get corner threes back in
the game has changed a lot in 8 years. And KD his shot diet has changed mainly because of his torn Achilles. But his shot diet has changed, and his shot diet is actually less analytically inclined now than it was, just based on the fact that he's slower and doesn't get to the rim.
I just think when I'm thinking about the game, the way it was changing, the fact that a guy's 3-point production doubles in less than 2 years. I mean, I think that has something to do with analytics and the numbers. And if it stays that way, it's not like he's shooting threes double than what he was shooting the year before or 2 years before that, and then it went back down. No, this is the way the game is going. And analytically, this is where I need to be for the game. This is where I need to be in order for us to have an opportunity to win.
I think he just got better at shooting the 3.
He did, absolutely. And not only did he get better at shooting the 3, that's the way the game was going anyway. So because that's
beneficial,
right.
Doubly beneficial.
I got a super chat from Gunny Elneck. He said, when the Bucks go blow for blow with the C's tonight, are they still fool's gold? Chill.
Yes, they are. Yes, they are. I'm on record saying that the way that roster is constructed, they are not built to win the NBA championship today. You cannot protect Damian Lillard in a 7-game series when teams hunt him specifically.
And
you
Malik
can't protect him. You cannot protect that backcourt. You can't.
Alan L said, "Shout out to Jalen Green's girl. She doing the Lord's work."
He gonna win Player of the Month, man. Well, actually, you know what? We play Chicago tomorrow. Alex Caruso is gonna have him in jail, so we're gonna ignore that game.
Oh no, Mars.
We're gonna ignore that game. But after that, yeah, we're on track for Player of the Month. We're on track.
I don't know, Mars. He been looking good, Joe.
Averaging 28, I think, over his last 10 games. Great efficiency.
Bad, yo.
Keep saying this is the Jalen Green I expected sooner or later. And the thing about it is he's only 22. I know, like, we have high expectations when guys are drafted as high as they are. When they come in the league, we expect them to go through a half a season and then grow up, and all of a sudden by the end of their rookie year just be who we think that they'll be in 6 years. No, like, it's a real maturation process. These guys got to get smarter. They got to get used to the NBA speed.
The speed.
They have to get stronger. A lot of things. They get new teammates, new coaches. They go through actual real life things that affect their game on the court, whether you like it or not. These guys are human. You heard what Jalen Green said in the interview. She asked him, "What's been a spark between you playing as good as you're playing right now?" He said, "Yo, my family, my baby." Like, maybe that was the thing that made Jalen Green be like, all right, it's really time to turn up. Like, things like that actually happen, and it affects these guys' mentals and things like that. Jalen Green could have, you never know. He could have been going through depression. It might have been a depressive state of his life. Now that he knows he has a baby on the way, it's like, all right, I feel better now. I'm ready to turn up. Things like that really do affect basketball players. But all in all, what I'm saying is dudes have to grow up and get used to the NBA game, and you can see it now. And also with the Rockets too. What they're 7-1 in their last 8 games, 8-1,
8-1 in our last 9.
Whether they make the playoffs or not, this is a big sign for next year and what's to come with them. I'm excited to see. Like, obviously this year they're good, and even if they do get in the play-in, I'm excited to see that. But I'm looking past this. I'm ready for next year because the Rockets they young and they ready to go. So I'm excited with what's going on right now.
Yeah, I think like highlight culture is kind of ruining our expectations. It's just like, obviously it's a culture of, instant gratification, but look at Scoot and Brandon Miller and the way people were talking about them like 3 games into the season. Like, it was crazy. Like, you got to give a dude time to adjust to NBA speed. But yeah, we don't need to belabor this any longer.
Well, the thing is, Slim, that's just too logical, Slim. That's just too logical.
Yeah, I guess
if you're not calling a person a bust after 3 games, what are we doing for?
Yeah, I guess like saying a rookie is just like a rookie doesn't get clicks. You got to be like, something's wrong.
If Wemby's not averaging 25 as a rookie, like, come on, man, he's a bust. Like, what are we
talking? Speaking of shots to somebody, go ahead, Ox.
Speaking of clicks and what like that, I just want to point something out. The first thing I saw on the internet this morning. Now, if y'all pay attention on playback, I've been trying to tell y'all, especially those of y'all that are still playing basketball out there at any competitive level, high school, college, professional, anything. I've been trying to tell y'all about that 2-for-1. Okay. We don't have to get that 2-for-1 every time. I've told y'all this multiple times. And if you've been paying attention, I know you've heard me say it. So now Bron said it on his show. So now I hope y'all listening. Okay. Hope y'all listening. That 2-for-1.
Are you saying Bron stole that take from me?
I mean, I wouldn't say that seriously. You know what I'm saying? No, I don't think so. But just, real hoop knowers know. You know what I'm saying? So
I think Bron watches the show. I think he's SMN RNDM.
Facts, man. Facts.
Right quick. You have no idea how many players watch stuff like this. Like, it's crazy. Like, the number of people that I found out that listen to our podcast, like, through the grapevine, I would hear, like, this guy, like, talk to his trainer and be like, oh, he watches your show all the time. I'm like, what? Where? It's like, you see 6,000 views. You don't know who the 6,000 people are, but sometimes it is players, human. Especially if you have a really serious take or a real deep analysis on a particular player, you better believe their entire family DM that.
See, that's
Jalen Green, if you're listening, Jalen Green, if you're listening, add that floater to your game, buddy. I've been trying to tell you to do that.
Hey, I guarantee you, soon enough, just because he's on the podcast and he's talking basketball and he's talking it from a different standpoint than the majority of people know or can even understand or can even relate to in any way, form, or fashion. There's going to be a lot of people that are going to start saying Bron don't know ball.
Oh yeah,
Mars. I am guaranteeing
the haters will, but his fans are going to say no matter what he says is going to be true.
It's not even haters though. It's just people that just don't understand it from this point of view. They only know it from watching basketball and on TV. You know, they only know it from playing 2K. They don't know it from any other standpoint. Now, that doesn't mean you had to be a hooper. Just have never been involved in basketball. Mars, I've been involved in basketball. I've been involved in basketball consistently for 29 years of my life. Consistently, basketball. That's what I know. So I look at it from a different way. You know what I'm saying? There's gonna be people like so many people tell me you don't know ball just because I look at it from a different way. I talk about basketball from a different way. There's gonna be people that out there that are gonna be like, Brown don't know what he's talking about.
I mean,
he's a casual.
The reverse will be the people who just say everything Bron says is just 1,000%.
Little column A, little column B. But the way I see it is basketball is one of those sports where it's just so accessible to everyone. Everyone at some point has played basketball. You don't need pads. You don't need 12 people. You need, at the end of the day, a ball and a hoop in yourself, if not more people. But I think I never blame people for, not knowing something or, even being like, you're an idiot. You don't know what you're talking about. If I say something that's a nuanced take, because, being involved in basketball is one thing, but being involved at a high level changes things. But you don't know what you don't know. And if anyone's like, well, how do you figure that stuff out? I'd say just listen to NBA players talk, listen to people have those conversations if you can have them. But if not, just involve yourself in media that's being produced by NBA players and listen to a lot of different ones. Listen to Pat Beverly, listen to JJ Redick, listen to LeBron, listen to Jeff T, whoever it is, or listen to us. Obviously, a lot of different people coming from a lot of different walks of life.
Ideally.
Yeah. I realized I just plugged so many other shows on one show. That's my bad.
When James made
real talk, go ahead.
When James made that take about when he hit Cam Reddish in the corner, he was talking specifically to Mars. I'm sure he heard that from Mars. No question about it. He was speaking.
I stand by what I said.
Even though the point is that he listened to Mars. He said he was specifically talking to Mars.
I still stand by what I said. I don't even blame LeBron. I blame Darvin Ham for drawing up that terrible play, and I stand by that. I'm sorry. You didn't draw up a play for a 10%
both think you got bad takes.
I stand by
that. That's
crazy. No, for real, I think the best way to get forward in basketball, in my opinion, is just to be comfortable with being wrong and to admit when you're wrong. I think a lot of people are really committed to. I know because I played. I know because I coach. I know because I did this or you double down, triple down, quadruple down, and then you're just wrong, and it's because you don't want to admit you're wrong. I'll admit Brandon Miller so quick. I was so down on him at the draft, and I was like, yo, it's got to be Scoot over Brandon Miller. The Hornets are making a big mistake, and I saw 6 games. I was like, you know what? I missed something here. I messed up. Walker Kessler. I had a really hot take on Walker Kessler. He was going to be a bust. I saw 5-6 games of him. I was like, I'm wrong. He's faster than I thought. I'm just wrong. And it's just you got to course correct. You got to be willing to admit you're wrong. And I don't think it's ever as bad as people think it's going to be. What's bad is when you do what Max Kellerman does or what's, some of these guys do where they're just nah, Braun is a choker. And it's just really now still he's a choker. It's but I'm the guy who said Braun is a choker. Hey. And everyone wants to be the guy who didn't change his mind. And I don't think it's not a high. I think that's the problem with the world beyond basketball is we have an entire world of people who are just committed to never changing their mind. And it's just are you think that much of yourself that you were never wrong at any point in your life? New information didn't change your mind. So I'm just saying, I think it's good to be comfortable in saying you were wrong. It
comes from all the people who will be because I was wrong about Brandon Miller too, and I said that pretty early on. I was wrong.
He was very wrong.
Yeah, extremely wrong. So I have no problem saying when I'm wrong about guys. I've apologized to Jabari Smith this season for the same reason. But I think it also comes from the people I'm not blaming the chat, but in general in life is when they're well, stand on business. You said this, man. You stand on that. No, if I'm wrong, I don't need to stand on what I was wrong about. If I'm wrong, why do I have to stand on a take I made that was incorrect? Because I've made it once upon a time. When I said Zion was on a top 30 player in the NBA, I was wrong.
It comes from conditioning. When you're young and a teacher comes to you and says you made a mistake, it's always a bad thing. It's always a bad thing to make mistakes. And that's why most people fail in life, because they're learning that making mistakes is bad. I'll tell you right now, the most successful person I ever the most successful person I've ever met is the person who made the most mistakes. Guaranteed.
And admitted them.
Admitted them to themselves at least. Even if they didn't admit it publicly, they admitted it personally. LeBron made a ton of mistakes. He's missed a ton of shots. I love that Michael Jordan commercial of like when he counts out how many shots he missed to win the game. The difference between Michael Jordan and Clyde Drexler is Michael Jordan didn't care. He just kept taking them, and he didn't have to apologize for it. He said, "I missed it. Next time I'm gonna make it." And it's just that's the mentality. It's like basketball is a metaphor for life, just like chess is a metaphor for life. Basketball is a metaphor for life too. You know, we all got, you know, a final shot. We all our game. All of our games are gonna end one day. All of us have a first quarter, second quarter, third quarter, fourth quarter. That's why it's so universally accessible.
I got
That's
overtime.
I was about to say we're going at least double OT.
Yeah, anyone
in the fourth quarter.
Some people got that triple bypass and they got the overtime. Okay, all right, you know. So that's what I'm saying. It's like, but at the end of the day, you gotta be willing to take a chance every single day. You know, like there's this guy Mark Manson who wrote The Subtle Art of Not Giving a F. I don't know if you're about to swear on that show.
Great book.
It's a great book. So he was talking about, like, you know, all these YouTube you know, videos are talking about how you're gonna be successful, morning routine this. He's like, bro, I promise you there's a person out there who drinks whiskey in his bed until like 10 a.m. and he's successful. The difference is he did 3 things that you didn't do. Number 1, he dared to be different, right? He dared to be contrarian. Number 2, he was right about what everyone else was wrong about. And number 3, he put some skin in the game and he showed up every day and he did it over and over again, right? So it's just like when I'm looking at a guy like LeBron James, I don't know LeBron James. I watched him when he was 15 years old because I was in the area. I played basketball. We're around the same age. I did watch him when he was 15, 16 years old. I can't even tell you how many people probably told this guy that basketball was not a realistic dream for him when he was 11 years old. He bet on, no, it is. You know what I mean? There's a lot of kids like this. Like Scotty, I know a little bit more personally his story. A lot of people told that guy at the age of 13 he was never going to make Division I basketball. He decided that he was going to choose what 99%. If you polled 99% of the world when Scotty Barnes was 12 years old and said, is this guy going to be an NBA player? No. But he had to choose yes. And he had to be right. And he had to show up every day. And I feel like that does not need to apply to a 6'9" basketball player. It could apply to you at your day job. I think it's very universal.
I'm gonna pass that.
And Penn,
anyone got a spare brick wall I can run through?
You, Thank you, sir.
I'm feeling great.
Hey, Penn, that was a W. Shout out to Clyde Drexler. That's another guy that Jordan doesn't clear.
Yo, we got to get back to this list, and we gotta really dive deep into this list. All right, we gotta time is against us, but I believe in us, especially after that inspirational monologue from Penn. I think we can get through this. All right, we got a lot of players to go. We're gonna get through this quick. I need y'all to work with me. All right, next.
Shocked at the list.
He what?
Domo looks shocked. I don't know what's shocking him, but he looks shocked.
Wait, let's ask
Slim.
him. Let's see if he can pick it out. Oh, never mind.
Slim, it's on you. You got Russell Westbrook.
I'm gonna put him at 2-star, and I'm gonna put him in front of Anthony and behind Terry.
Front of Anthony and behind Terry.
There's some noise in there, Mike.
We have to move Emmanuel quickly at some point.
All right, Jalen Brunson, it's on you, Damo. I know you're new to the party, but welcome.
I'm just confused by the consistency of this.
Focus, Damo.
You know
focus,
what?
Focus, Damo.
I don't want to troll. 4-star.
Ahead of Jamal Murray?
Nah, he's behind Jamal Murray.
What's confusing you?
What is the criteria, I guess? Like what's making a guy a 3-star? What's making a guy a 2-star? For real. And what makes a guy a 1-star?
Make up your own criteria, Damo.
I feel you.
I feel like if everyone does that, this list is never going to make sense.
Me and Ox are going off how we feel, but the general, I guess, example understanding I have: 5-star, best player on the championship team; 4-star, one of the 3 best players on the championship team; 3-star, a starter on the championship team; 2-star, key rotation player, so like top 8 in the rotation on the championship team; 1-star, fringe rotation, like special lineups where you might get in the game, blah blah blah; and then no star, you just get no PT on a championship team.
That makes sense, though, doesn't it?
Yeah. The only guy that doesn't seem to fit his IQ.
And Quentin Grimes just got put 2-star at the start. That we have no. Quentin Grimes just ignored.
We're gonna take care of this Emmanuel Quickly thing later. Don't worry.
That's pretty much
Big Ox.
Disrespectful.
You got Jordan Clarkson.
Jordan Clarkson. I like Jordan Clarkson. He's also a 2-star. I like Jordan Clarkson.
You have a specific place for him?
Put him up there next to Terry.
Thompson's on this list. I like that.
No, behind Terry.
All right, there we go. Keeping it pushing. Mars, Jalen Brown.
That'll be interesting.
Of course, he's a 4-star. We know this.
Of course, apparently. Yeah, 4.
For real.
He's behind Brunson.
Yo, Sage saying 5.
Behind Brunson?
5?
There's no way in hell I'm putting Jalen Brown in 5.
Sage. I think we found Jalen. I think we found Jalen Brown's burner account. 5.
I was thinking between 3 and 4, so I don't know how anyone's even saying 5. Like,
I would have put
3. 3 is crazy. 3 is crazy.
I would put him in the top of 3.
I was contemplating.
Okay, for real. Can I ask you a serious question? What does Jalen Brown do better than Desmond Bane?
Oh,
is he a better shooter? Is he a better passer? Is he a better defender? It's like, what does he do better other than he plays for a better team? That's it.
He's a better rumble defender than.
He has a better standing reach. That's all I could think of.
That's it.
He's better in transition than Desmond Bane.
I'm a big standing reach guy.
Are you actually? Is that actually a thing?
No, I do think it does matter, but I just thought that was a funny thing to key in on.
Shoot,
Yo, Penn, it's on you next, and you have Ja Morant.
Ja Morant is firmly 4-star. Nah, wait. Yeah, 4-star.
And do you have a place for him?
He is. Are we considering any off-court? Nothing. I don't care.
Nah,
just straight talent. Straight talent. Then he's on the top of that list. Just put him on the top of that list, bro.
Off-court, make him 5-star.
That's insane.
No,
yeah, for sure. He for sure got 5 stars.
Jalen who? Jalen Brunson?
Brown.
Jalen Brown is not better than Ja Morant.
That's fine.
Oh yeah. If you're here more often, you'll realize Ox is like Jalen Brown's #1 fan.
Well,
he's better than Desmond Bane, though.
No, he's not.
I know, right?
He's better than Desmond Bane. He's bigger than him.
He's better than Bane. Penn is the biggest
one-on-one player than him. He's a better on-ball defender than him.
He's not a better on-ball defender than him.
I don't think he's better than him this year.
He's just a better basketball player.
You don't think Jalen Brown is a better on-ball defender than Desmond Bane?
I just don't think he's a better basketball player than Desmond Bane.
I feel like here's the thing, though, bro. Y'all realize anchoring bias is a real thing, okay? Anchoring bias is forever a real thing. Until Nikola Jokic won MVPs, I promise you people were still saying he was too fat to win anything. I'm saying this because when I look at Desmond Bane and I look at my experience playing basketball and watching basketball my whole life, I think this guy shouldn't be a star. I really don't. I think
Jalen Brown should not be a starter.
No. I'm saying Desmond Bane. When I look at him,
when you look at him, he's like.
When you look at him, when you look at his body, you look how he moves around. You look at his arms. You see him. You're like, this guy's not a star. But that's it. It's the Şengün effect, the Luka effect, whatever, bro. Every year there are guys like this that, for whatever reason, because of their face or their head or their body or something or the way they move or whatever, they just get passed up. Look at Paul Pierce. Look at where he went in the draft. So right? He should have never gone that low.
Because the way he looks, you look at him and you think, oh, he shouldn't be good, and that he is good. Now you have boosted.
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying Jalen Brown is the opposite of that. When I see Jalen Brown play basketball, I'm like, that guy should be a superstar. And so you keep forcing him into a box in your head about like that guy should be a superstar. It's like, well, that's my point. Cade Cunningham is the epitome of that guy looks like he should be a superstar in basketball. The way he moves, the way he's not.
You don't watch the Pistons.
I do. Sadly, I do. You think he's a superstar?
Well, no. Obviously, he's not a superstar now, but he's definitely.
He's saying he's very good. He's saying Cade is very good.
I think highly of Cade. I'm just saying I think very highly of Cade. But no, obviously, he's not a superstar right now. But I know what you're saying about Desmond Bane. Desmond Bane,
my
the
issue
short
is,
arms, he shouldn't be able to defend the way he's able to
defend.
defend.
He doesn't really have short arms, though. Have y'all seen this in real life?
He's 6'4". He's 6'4" with 6'2" wingspan. He does have short arms.
But saying someone's better than they should be doesn't mean they're better than someone else who isn't better.
Desmond Bane in real life, dude is big. He's not a little.
Yeah, he's big relative to me and you, but like,
not relative. He's little relative to me.
How tall are you?
I'm talking about in real life. You look at Desmond Bane. Desmond Bane is a yes. Desmond Bane is a big.
And be getting hung, Slim. 6'9" to be getting hung.
Ron, would you focus? He's trying to make a point.
Please. Yo, Desmond Bane is a big dude. Like he's not little compared to anybody. You know what I mean? Except for
little compared to literally everybody in the NBA. He's shorter than the average NBA player.
Wait a minute though.
Sorry. Go ahead, Joe.
Your logic that this guy should be better than how he looks does not mean, to Mars's point, that this guy is better than this other guy. So because Desmond Bane looks a certain way and he's playing great, that doesn't mean that he's better than Jalen Brown.
I'm trying to explain why people think he's not as good as he is what I'm saying. So like when a guy moves a certain way or looks a certain way, he gets underrated. When he plays in a small market, he gets underrated. Like right now, Fred VanVleet, I already said, like, I do not like the guy. I think he's crazy underrated. I don't like him, but he's stupidly underrated. Why? Because he's small, stubby. He doesn't have a flashy style of basketball, and he's way more effective than he ever should be. He's smart. He does things on the basketball court that people don't see because it doesn't show up in the highlights. When the guy talked about highlight culture, Fred VanVleet is exactly it. Fred VanVleet shows up in 0 highlights unless he hits a game winner. But a guy like John Morant, Derrick Rose, even Jalen Brunson, they're a lot flashier players. There's a flashy style of basketball that makes you appealing to the casual fan. And if you're appealing to the casual fan, there's like a bias where if you're always on SportsCenter, you're always on ESPN, people are just going to think you're better.
Yeah.
Okay. If you're on a winning team, people are going to assume you're contributing to that winning team. Jalen Brown is on the best team in basketball right now. I would argue he is not their second best player at all. People
he's a big reason they're the best team in basketball.
Sure. But if he didn't play, they'd still be the best team in the East. I promise you that. And that's what I'm saying.
If he wasn't on the team, they'll be the best team in basketball.
But that doesn't negate that.
They would still be the best team in the East. They might not be as good as they are right now. But are you telling me for real? I mean, yo.
Even if that, whoa, stop right there. Even if that's true, let's just say for the sake of argument that's true. That doesn't negate the fact that if he was in Memphis and take Desmond Bane off that crew and put John Morant and those guys on that crew, that they wouldn't still be rolling.
They wouldn't be rolling because he's not as good.
Be rolling.
Bro, he can't. He's not a better ball handler than Desmond Bane. He's not a better passer than Desmond Bane. He's not a better defender than Desmond Bane. He's not a better shooter than Desmond Bane. He's a better athlete. That's it. He's a better, taller athlete. That's it.
How is Desmond Bane a better defender?
He's not. Mars,
he is.
No, I agree.
Whose pick is it?
Mars and Chill, I had to mute you guys. We can keep this debate up. We just got to get these picks in between. Chill, it's on you, and you have Tyrese Halliburton.
Oh man, I know it's about to be some BS here.
I think he's a franchise point guard, so I'm going to say 4-star.
Never mind.
Tyrese Halliburton?
Yes, I think he's a franchise point guard, so I'm going to say 4-star. I'm not sure if they can win the NBA championship with him because we haven't gotten that far.
Off.
But the fact that he fell off because he got hurt, and I think that's largely due to why his production is the way it is. But even still, I think he's a franchise point guard, and I'll put him at the 4-star tier. I don't think he's ahead of.
You have a place for him?
I don't think he's ahead of Jalen Brown. I don't think he's ahead of Jalen Brown. I don't think he's ahead of him.
So he's at the end.
Jalen Brunson has been playing really consistently this year, so I'm going to put him ahead of. I'm going to put Jalen Brunson ahead of him too. So yeah,
at the end.
Yes.
All right. Cool. Next, it's on you, Slim. Donovan Mitchell.
Y'all aren't gonna like me. People aren't gonna like me.
You're gonna put him 3-star.
No. I'm gonna put him in front of Jamal Murray, behind Ja.
Oh, that was nice of you.
Nothing wrong with that.
How much you hate Donovan Mitchell?
I just hear a lot. I mean, I think he's a good player. I just hear a lot of like Donovan Mitchell boosting, and so I thought that would be like, oh, he's not 5 stars. Like, no, he's not a 5-star.
I thought you were gonna put him 5-star. That's what I thought.
You was gonna put him 3-star. The way I hear you talk, man.
I don't see anything crazy. I just think he's a little bit of a black hole.
Damo, you have Scoot Henderson.
Oh, that's when he won. To be honest.
I mean, for the sake of consistency, I guess with this list, I'm gonna say no. No, let me stop. 1 star in front of Gabe Vincent.
How is Scoot Henderson like? How is he not no stars?
What?
Huh?
We're not talking about. We're not projecting this year.
We haven't seen anything.
How is Scoot Henderson? How is Scoot Henderson like?
What? No,
We understand the potential. I understand.
Right.
This year, how is he not no stars? Like, I'm being genuine.
Because
I think he's a fringe
For
rotation
me-
guy on a contending team.
You think a
For
contender
me,
would play Scoot Henderson?
I've seen more from him than I've seen definitely from fucking Javon Carter, and I definitely seen more than I now. Dennis Schroeder being that is Dennis Schroeder, right?
Yeah.
that's not-
So
Okay.
Lakers uniform.
I'm about to say.
Gabe
I don't know
Vincent,
how
I would
Gabe
move
Vincent's
Gabe
in front-
Vincent down. I'm just
Yeah, I'm
putting
gonna say I don't know how Gabe Vincent in front of Dennis Schroeder, but I've
I'm
seen
just saying,
Scoop do way more than Gabe Vincent.
ignore
I'm
the
just
players who
saying
actually ignore the players who are on the tier. Ignore that because I think Gabe Vincent is too high. I think Quentin Grant's too high. Ignore that. Just talk about Scoot Henderson, the player. What has he shown you this year that would indicate on a team that's trying to compete, he would get minutes?
he's better than Javon Carter. That's simple.
Javon Carter is 0 stars for a reason.
Where is he? I
don't think he's nowhere near the same level as Javon Carter. I think
He might be a better player, but what contender would even consider giving Scoot Henderson minutes?
If Scoot Henderson was
a young number 3 pick, like the player Scoot Henderson, like blank profile player Scoot Henderson.
Putting him as a 1 star just means he's a fringe.
But why would he be on the fringe? Why would he play?
Because the Suns don't have a point guard. There we go. The Suns.
That's what I was about to ask you, Damo. If Scoot Henderson is in Chicago, Damo, what is he doing in Chicago?
Coming off the bench?
Probably. Just because of personnel. It's about team needs. It's less about how good he is.
I understand the potential thing. Like, he's young, so I understand potential. But this year, there's no reason a team would give Scoot Henderson minutes if they're trying to win.
I'm not gonna hold you. I really didn't expect to be debated.
Because you said no star, he's like, no, I'm trolling. I'm like,
0 and 1 star. It's bottom of the barrel.
Ox, it's on you. You got Austin Reeves. This should be interesting.
Scoot is the Kobe of Killian Hayes is crazy.
Low key.
I never thought I'd hear that sentence, bro.
Low key.
You started that, Damo, just so you know. You the one who started that.
And Johnny Davis, the Anthony Bennett of Killian Hayes. Yeah. I get it.
Yo, also shout out everybody that's been watching the video. Go ahead and slap that like button, man. Let's get the likes up. We're not even at 250, and it's 1,300 people in here, man. Let's get up to 1,000 likes. Let's hit that band. We need a K. Also, we are on playback today. Chill. We'll be watching at 7:15 p.m. Eastern time. The Bucks versus the Celtics, the 2 best teams in the East. Be sure to go to playback.tv. and check that out. Also, shout out to www.playerschoicemerch.com. Go get your hoodie, go get your shirt, go get a hat, go get something good that will make you feel good. Support the movement. PC. Ox, it's on you. Austin Reeves.
Austin Reeves. Okay, that's right. That's what it was. Austin Reeves.
You forgot?
Well, relax, Ron.
Hey, sativas, brother. Sativas.
Chill out, bro. You know, I put that stuff away. I don't do that.
No, I don't do that no more.
Austin Reeves. And you know, this is the guy that was supposed to be an all-star this year. Don't forget.
Oh, wow. Do you remember this?
According to who?
Yeah,
we had those convos. I remember that.
He was supposed to be. He was damn near supposed to be an all-star starter. Don't forget that.
Jamal Murray never made an all-star team.
We gotta make this pick, yo. We gotta keep it pushing,
my bad.
We really gotta get through this.
All right. Austin Reeves is at the very front of the 2 stars.
Have you put everyone in 2 stars so far?
Yeah.
There's just more. There's more good.
You put Quentin Grant, Steph Rozier, Jordan Clarkson, and Austin Reeves in 4. I think you put every one of your picks.
The only thing that could have changed. Those are 2-star players. The only thing could have changed is Quentin Grimes being at the top of the 1. Like that's.
I'm not arguing. I just think it's funny that every pick you've made has been a 2-star.
Slim, you got Dame Dollar.
Dollar.
I'm not high on Dame. I'm really not high on Dame. Yeah,
hey Damo, fix your face, Damo.
This is easy, Slim.
He's either. I mean, and like there's
only
one other guy out there.
Disgusting, Ron. Disgusting.
I put him at the bottom of 5 or the top of 4. It's kind
bottom of 5. That's my
bottom of 5.
Yeah,
you think you're not high? You might be the highest person in the world.
I'm low on Damian Lillard. He behind
like
Steph.
What if people that Dame Dollar is back?
Hey, look, let's not talk about. I've had a conversation on this show where I was being called a lot of different things for saying that I don't think Dame is better than a lot of other guys. I mean, I I don't know. I guess I'm not putting him at the bottom of 5 because you got John 4.
Nah, Slim, do what you need to do.
Go with your heart.
Well, let me think. I'm putting him
Right next to Scoop.
I'm putting him. Oh man, the more I look at this 4-star list, the lower I want to put him. Actually.
You know you want to put him in 3-star, man. Put him right between.
No, he's not a 3-star. He's not a 3-star guard.
He could be one of your top 3 players, and you could win a championship for sure.
100% agree.
Like
I would say I'd put him in.
Next to LeBron and AD.
Tell the people that damn.
You know what? Screw it. I'm putting him between Brunson and Brown on the 4-star list.
Brunson and Brown.
Yeah,
All
between
right.
Brunson and Brown.
That's where Yair is going.
And I would.
Damo, you're
honestly,
disgusted too.
I'd have Tyrese above him. I think Tyrese.
Can't believe I'm even joking about this. That's crazy. All right, Damo. Speaking of disgusting, it's on you, and you have B. Miller. How ironic.
Hey man, no, see, I don't want to troll. I want to keep some integrity with the list because I want to put him 3-star. Not gonna lie to you, but
Damo, low key.
I want to. I mean, my initial thought is the bottom of 3-star, but then I'm looking and it's like, all right, Brandon Miller being the bottom of 3-star, but you got guys like, in my opinion, I think Reeves would have been up there with him too, but that's just me. Maybe I got a Laker bias. I don't know why Cam Thomas is 1. Let me stop. Put him behind Austin Reeves at 2-star.
If I'm keeping it a bean, Damo, he's playing behind Paul George. He's in that rotation with the Clippers today.
He said behind
Absolutely.
Reeves. He said
Behind Reeves. Come on, man.
I forgot that that's just
100%.
that's your guy. I forgot.
Scoop.
All right. Next, Ox is not here, so Amin will fall.
Was it gonna fall to me?
No, I'm right here.
Oh, that's crazy.
Nah, Ox is here.
I'm right here.
Oh, that's crazy.
Dang, Mars.
He's gonna put him in 2 stars too.
Who we talking about?
Amin Thompson.
2 stars. That's
Hey,
generous,
no way.
Mars.
Hey, Amin balled out last night. Amin had 25 and 10, man. Shout out to that. Hey, all right. The backcourt of the future.
Hey, Mars, you can have him if you want. I can.
No, it's fine. It sounds like you're gonna put him in 1 star, but you can go put him wherever.
Nah, I mean, honestly, I would be more comfortable with you doing it because I don't feel like I've seen enough of Min Thompson to properly rank the young fella.
The next
All
one
right,
is Trae Young.
I'll go ahead and swap you guys right now. You guys got a pick swap.
Go ahead. That's cool, Mars.
That's very big of you, Ox.
I appreciate it. Okay,
Like, call him Big Ox for a reason.
Hey, Big Ox.
If you think about it, you're probably gonna put him in 1 star too.
no, he better than Cam Thomas. But it doesn't make sense for me to put him above Fred VanVleet.
Exactly.
I could convince myself.
I can convince myself.
I could. He's one of the best.
Mars, you be debating yourself. You be looking at him.
I'm thinking about. He's
Mars,
not really
his brother is one
of
of the best defenders. He is not one of the best defenders in the NBA.
You can't name 10 better guard defenders than him.
I'm about to say, that's
Slim,
I don't even care if you name 10. I would say you're lying after like
Penn. Just so you know, Penn.
Like, he's one of the best.
Mars told us that Amin Thompson is a better defender as a rookie than Scottie Pippen.
I said that
about Asar, but Amin is a better defender than Asar.
He's a better rookie defender than Scottie
Yeah,
Pippen.
he's a better defender than Scottie Pippen was as a rookie. Yes,
as a rookie.
You said Amin's a better defender than Asar?
Amin is.
Bro, you're very lucky you were not alive to see Scottie Pippen play basketball.
As a rookie, not even his whole career. As a rookie,
you can find 88 games online.
Okay, watch him.
I did.
We got to get back to this though, y'all.
Let's get back to it.
Yo, Penn, they done with the 90s, Penn. They done with the 90s.
That's the 80s, and it's not
I mean,
about
that was the 80s,
It's about me watching Amin Thompson and saying there's not 10 better guard defenders in the league than him.
Mars, I need you to rank him in.
Where you got him at, Mars?
He's the 3rd best defender on a lottery team. How is he? Might be the 4th best defender on a lottery
defender name the 2 defenders better than Amin Thompson
on his team. Fred VanVleet and Dylan Brooks. They're way better than him.
Van Fleet and Dylan Brooks.
Dylan Brooks, yeah.
And I would argue Jabari Smith.
Jabari, I was about to say
Jabari as well. That's why I said he's 4th.
I was thinking Jabari
I'm
and
not
Dylan.
listening
I
to
didn't
people
think
who
Fred
haven't
VanVleet.
watched Houston tell me Fred VanVleet's a better defender than him. I'm not doing that.
Bro, watch. If we brought Fred VanVleet on this show and he asked and you asked him who is your biggest hater on the planet, he would name me. I promise you that. So I'm telling you he's a better defender than a rookie. Are you kidding me, bro?
What makes him a better defender? What makes Fred
intelligence? Intelligence, understanding. It's not just physical ability. I mean, you see Asar Thompson have 4 positive plays on Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, and you put him over Scottie Pippen. Like, are you kidding me? There is so much more. Yeah, I promise you this, bro. If Asar Thompson, who I'm very high on, and Amen Thompson, who I'm also very high on, I'm very, very high on both players. They're hoop heads. They're going to be really good players in the NBA someday. They're still 20 years old, bro. Like you telling me a 20-year-old player, if he was even half the defender right now that Scottie Pippen is, I promise you the Pistons have 30.
Okay, tell me about rookie Scottie Pippen. Tell me about rookie Scottie Pippen.
Hold on.
Enlighten me.
I'm not talking about as you didn't say rookie to rookie. You said
no, because you weren't on the show. That's exactly what I said.
Oh, I said, yes, rookie to rookie. Okay, yeah, then I agree with you.
I didn't know you were saying rookie to rookie.
That's all I said.
My bad.
I'm Scottie Pippen. That never left.
Okay, my bad. That's what I thought. That's what I thought you said.
Okay, so we got to clarify that. But
okay, yes, Asar Thompson as a rookie defender, crazy.
Yeah,
I haven't seen.
That's all I said. That's all I said.
Chill, it's on you. You got Trae Young.
No, it's on me.
It's on
They switch.
Yo, Ron, do your job, Ron. Before I come over.
I'm sorry, bro. I be forgetting about you sometimes.
See what happened, Rob? You about to have to come over there. See,
I got to get on the sativas too. Go ahead, brother.
Who I got?
Trae Young.
I got Ice Trae. Well, who's after me?
Chill.
Me.
Pin.
What's up, Chill? Yo, Chill. What's up, Chill? You know you my man. We can switch you in Ice Trae.
No, we not. Sorry.
Damn.
Chill wants Anthony.
I'm straight.
Just when you think you got a friend, just because you on my show don't mean. Never mind. Go ahead.
Well, I mean, Trae is. I mean, this is easy. He's a 4-star. Easy 4-star. It's no problem.
Where you got him at?
Behind Jalen Brown.
Oh.
All right, there he is. Ant Edwards, chill. How ironic.
He's at the top of the 4-star list. He hasn't moved up to 5-star yet. He's getting close. He hasn't moved up to the 5-star list yet, but he's getting close. But
he's better than Donovan Mitchell.
Chill. Every time I see Ant play, I'm getting swayed more and more.
Didn't you say yesterday Donovan Mitchell was the best?
No, he's not better than Donovan Mitchell. Put him behind Donovan Mitchell.
Okay.
No, he's not.
I think he's better than Donovan Mitchell.
What makes?
I know you did, but yesterday Chill said he wasn't. So
I'm on record. Donovan Mitchell's the best 2 guard in the game.
Yeah,
I'm on record.
I'm
on record.
Yeah, he's not better than Donovan yet.
This season, how is he not better this season?
Okay, so Donovan Mitchell having the career year that he's having this season, even better than last season. Donovan Mitchell would be a lot better in terms of his assists if guys would actually make open shots, because he's created a lot more open shots for guys. He's make a lot better these 2 years that he's been in Cleveland than he ever did when he was in Utah. He's actually, I think he's second in the league in steals. That's better than anything that he did that's better than anything that he did when he was in Utah. Not only that, scoring the basketball, he's been a better scorer, which is better than anything that he did when he was in Utah. And he was already in the conversation with Devin Booker as the best 2 guard in the game when he was in Utah. And he's actually better in Cleveland. I think Donovan Mitchell is the best 2 guard in the game.
You're giving me everything about Donovan Mitchell being compared to himself. Why are we not comparing Donovan Mitchell to Anthony Edwards, who made a leap to put him on that level? I asked this yesterday. What's making these guys better than Anthony Edwards? And people are just telling me what they did compared to their previous version of themselves a different year. We had the conversation about Devin Booker.
Okay, first of all, Dom, I don't have to make the argument.
We look at Devin Booker last year. Booker last year was averaging career highs, and now this year he's averaging the same thing, so he's still great. What does that have to do with Anthony Edwards, who is averaging better numbers, who are literally on their level this year? That's what I'm asking.
And is a legit 2-way player.
And legitimately on their level this year. How is he not better?
And absolutely is a legit 2-way player. So is Donovan Mitchell. He plays on the defense side of the basketball too.
So a legit 2-way. You're telling me Donovan Mitchell?
Hey, second in the league.
That might be the most egregious thing you've ever said.
Is he the same? As I was saying,
trust me, it's not top 5.
Is he the same defender that Anthony Edwards is? No, he isn't.
No, but he is. No one will ever consider Donovan Mitchell a 2-way player. To do that, you have to be a net positive on that side of the floor. There's no way. I refuse to believe. I mean, we got to watch a lot of film. He came in.
Okay, first and foremost.
In college, he was a 2-way player, but in the NBA,
he came into the league as a defender. He came into the league.
So did Devin
being a
Vassell.
defender in college is, I mean, and at the end of the day, it's about team defense. That's what
Right.
matters.
Right.
But it's so much easier to defend in college. The same reason why he's not a good defender in the NBA is the same reason why he's a better scorer in the NBA than he was in college.
Which
Space.
is?
You have to guard more space. He cannot guard at a high level without a guy in the gap sitting heavy where that space used to not be in college. You don't have that help in the NBA. I wouldn't classify. Maybe we have different definitions of what can qualify you as a two-way player. I'll give that benefit of the doubt, but I don't think that Donovan Mitchell falls into what I
know we got. I know we got to get going, Ron. But wait a minute.
That's my bad.
I know we got to get going, Ron. But wait a minute. The fact that he had Rudy behind him, the fact that he now has both Evan Mobley and Jared Allen behind him, the space that he needs to cover, he does cover that. He's a lot more in passing lanes today. He's actually a better on-ball defender than what he was in the past because he has a guy in Evan Mobley. He has a guy in Jared.
On that team, he was one of the worst defensive impact metric guys in the league in that Jazz team. When he's on the floor, he impacts his team negatively because at the end of the day, there's all these bells and whistles around it, context, this and that. The biggest thing is when you're on the floor, does a team score less points than when you aren't on the floor?
Correct.
And Donovan Mitchell has been poor at that historically through his career.
So you brought up Utah, but this season, that's not the case. And Evan Mobley's actually been out of the lineup more this season than he was last year, when he also was really good on the defensive end. Same thing with Jared Allen. He's now been in the lineup, who's helped them out a lot more. And the team defense, the schemes that they run, which they do run a lot of switches, which helps Donovan Mitchell out being in the passing lane, which helps Donovan Mitchell out and he's actually been a better rebounder this year too, which I also dig about him. The fact that he's been a better rebounder. The idea that him with Anthony Edwards, and I'm not going to argue, Damo, that Anthony Edwards is a better defender because I do think Anthony Edwards is a better defender. But I feel like the gap between him being a better defender and Donovan Mitchell is not huge, but I do think that there's a gap there. But in terms of scoring, I think Donovan Mitchell is a better scorer today. I think he's just as good an athlete as Anthony Edwards is, even today. And I think that he can score in a more variety of ways. Plus being a defender, I think he's the best two guard in the game.
All right. As of right now, Penn. My bad, man. I skipped you and went to chill with Anthony Edwards. But
wait a minute. Hold on. Before we go any further, Damo, that's the point. And if you heard me, what did I say about Anthony Edwards in the next 2 years?
You got me MVP conversations.
No, that's in the next 3 years. In the next 2 years, where do I have Anthony Edwards?
Best shooting guard in the league.
I think he's undisputed. I just don't think he's there yet. That's where
I'm not going to say he's the best shooting guard because I think Devin Booker's the best shooting guard in the league. But I think the leap Ant took this year made him second. I got him, and maybe it's just because of the lack of games that because of the availability from Donovan Mitchell. Which, if that's the case, that's the case. But I'm just on a statistical basis, they are producing at the exact same level this year.
We're just looking at different stats, bro.
What stats are you looking at?
All of them. That's the point. I'm looking at all of them. I'm looking at net rating. I'm looking at boxes finals. I'm looking at EPM. I'm looking at value replacement. I'm looking at the defensive metrics. I'm looking at
Donovan Mitchell clear him in that category, in those categories.
Anthony Edwards?
Yes.
He's a much better offensive player than Anthony Edwards right now. And Anthony Edwards is a much better defender.
Give you one much. I don't know about three muches though. I'm just playing, bro.
The thing is, like without the context of the players you're playing around, like how much does a stretch big like Karl-Anthony Towns help more than having a not stretch big like Evan Mobley? How much is Evan Mobley suddenly starting to hit threes help? Right? There's all these things. How much does playing a weaker schedule matter? Do you know what I mean? Like Donovan Mitchell played a really weak schedule through most of his super hot heater, where he started to garner a lot of attention. The East is weaker than the West. The average team in the West is like way stronger. And the fact that Anthony Edwards is the best.
Nope, I'm not doing that.
But it matters, man. If 65 to 70% of your games are against better competition, like how much worse? Like you think about it this way. The Houston Rockets right now, right? We talked about Houston Rockets going to be real good, right? Houston Rockets would be firmly in the playoffs if they were in the East.
Oh, facts.
Why?
Facts.
100%. They would be like top 5 seed eligible.
The East isn't what it. I will concede that the East is.
So that's what I'm saying. If I watch Fred VanVleet make an All-Star team because he stat padded like a crazy person against like these really bad teams that were coming in depleted because Canada had all those COVID restrictions and whatnot. So what I'm saying is who you're playing matters a lot. And if you're playing a stronger schedule all the time, if you're playing with weaker teammates, it matters. If you're playing in an inoptimal,
I'm about to say.
I definitely think Donovan Mitchell is better, but I'm saying it's not a huge gap, and I do think Anthony Edwards will bridge that gap within a couple of years for sure. Okay. So I'm taking the middle road on this. I am, however, saying that yes, Mitchell is a better player offensively.
But is he playing a easier schedule?
He is playing an easier schedule, but even when you play against the West, his numbers hold up. That's what I look at. Like for me, it's like the biggest red flag is a player who gets most of his big games against the worst teams. If your biggest like to me, like I'm looking at a guy and I'm like, okay, you averaging 32 points per game against the Pistons, but you averaging 12 points per game against the Denver Nuggets. Big red flag. So I look at Donovan Mitchell and I say Jamal Murray's another one where it's like bigger game, bigger moment, bigger game. Like I like those guys. Anthony Edwards is a big game guy too. So that's sure. I think they're both really good players, but I do think personally I like them both more than Devin Booker.
Pray
that's
for
just
Ox,
me.
Guys. Pray for Ox. Hope he's okay.
Ox fell down the stairs or something.
Yeah,
shoot.
All right, we getting back to it. Yo, Penn. You got SGA next.
Tier 1, like 5-star.
Above Steph Curry, right?
Yep.
Any arguments?
We don't have time for arguments anymore.
Well, we actually kind of do because at this moment in time, we're not finishing this list today. So we're gonna
the next one's Luka.
I noticed you stopped trying, Ron.
Penn, what we're gonna do is I wanna extend an invite to you to come up tomorrow. Potentially. Are you available?
Yeah, I'll make it work.
I'll get back with you on the tail end of this show. After the show, I'll holler at you and I'll see what I could do.
Okay.
But y'all, we still got a lot of players left, and we still got a lot of good content to get out of this list. So let's keep it pushing. Next, Slim. Why does things keep working out like this?
Go put him at the top of 5 stars.
You got Luka Doncic. Yo,
you all right, big fella? You okay?
I'm right.
It looked like it got tricky for a second, but go ahead. I'm sorry if I interrupted. Keep going.
Someone said Ox got jumped.
They finally caught up with you? It was them Jamaicans, huh?
They've been trying, Ron.
I didn't send them your address. I didn't do that. I swear I didn't.
Hey, well, you can't.
Ron for real gonna get a stump though. He is, yo. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
You can't stop that, baby.
Y'all.
It's all good.
Go ahead, Slim.
Hey, I'm assuming I got Luka. That's why.
You do.
Top of the top. Come on now. Put him above everybody.
No debate here.
No.
I ain't going on.
Anybody?
Questions, comments, concerns, class?
I have no arguments. Luka Doncic is
really good. I don't have an argument. I just got a question.
Does his defense worry you at all?
Yeah,
I understand. Here's a question. Like two questions really about Luka. Like, and real quick. Number one, his defense. Like, it bothers me a lot. It bothers me with Trae Young. It bothers me with him. I don't like players who play no defense. That's why I put Anthony Simons where I put him. I don't like players who do not guard. I understand offense is more valuable than defense. I get that. But Luka, the coverage is, his attention to detail, his effort on that end is very lax. Number two, I am curious about Kristaps Porzingis. Now, Kristaps Porzingis in theory is a great matchup with him, and it didn't work. And I'm curious to know why that was. And it's a lot of Rick Carlisle, believing the, KP post up is not good. Well, welcome to 2024, and the Boston Celtics are running KP post ups left, right, and center, and they're running the most efficient offense in basketball. So it's like, to me, it's like, do I have to do so much to put around this guy where he becomes so weird to construct around, where he is now a watered down version of LeBron James who does not play defense?
That's giving too much love. Watered down LeBron. That's actually fire.
KP's a better post-up player now.
There's a lot. So
he was always a good post-up player.
Here's what I'm going to tell you. I'll answer that question. So I'm a firm believer in when you have one guy on your defense that you kind of have to hide. it doesn't really matter. I think team defense at the end of the day can cover up a lot of that. I mean, that's both of these guys that you mentioned, Trae Young and Luka, have been to conference championships. That's not a championship. I understand that, but it goes to show you can scheme for it.
Yes, it is.
Well, they didn't win the conference championship.
Okay.
But they went to it.
Yes.
But either way, my point is, I guess, like when you talk about Luka compared to Trae, that's you're comparing someone who at their baseline level, Luka is 6'7", and there's a reason he's been an effective defender in situationally this year. I think he's good in the gaps. I think part of why we talked about, I mean, Penn mentioned earlier, I think we lost him for a second, but he was talking about intelligence makes you a good defender. It's not all physical ability. That's the, why you can't say Asar is, this elite guy. He shows flashes of being really, really good. And he clearly has the physical ability, but intelligence is very important. And you can actually go on YouTube and just type in Luka Doncic defensive highlights. It's not a very long video, and it's over the course of the past few years, but just about every time he makes a defensively impactful play, it's in the gaps and it's help defense. He's a smart defender. I think where he gets caught, obviously, when there is a ton of space and he gets put on an island, he's prone to get beat off the dribble for sure. And he has to play guys in a certain way to try to keep that from happening. However, he's still 6'7". He's a savvy guy. He protects the rim at a very, very low level, but on the help side, he is effective on those cover downs when you have drop-offs to the bigs. But I don't think it's fair to compare him to guys like Trae or to say he plays no defense or the effort isn't there. He looks bad situationally, of course, like on ball and closeouts. Closeouts, he sucks. He's terrible. He's just running and, like coaches say, chop your feet. I see Luka all the time. He's just almost like a jump into a 2-footed jump stop with a hand up. He just gets blown by. But I think obviously Shea is close. I think it's close. He's my guy. I'm going to rock with my dude. I think he's the best player in the NBA, and that means I'm going to put him at number 1.
All right, y'all. I don't know what happened to Penn. Maybe the same people that caught up with Ox caught up with him. So I do want to say this.
Is he back?
Y'all be careful. Watch your back.
But Ron won't bring him up. Ron's here.
My bad.
No.
You good?
Yeah, I'm good. Internet.
All right.
Did you hear Slim's explanation?
No, but you don't got to repeat it. It's cool.
Long story short, Luka's good in the gaps, bad on ball, bad at closeouts, but he's 6'7", so he wouldn't put him in Trae Young's tier.
I think the more talented the league gets, the harder it's going to be to hide even one guy. But it's a good thing for him that he's big. It's big. He's a big dude.
Defense matters way less than team defense. You can always hide a guy with a scheme. I don't think Jason Kidd's the guy to put that scheme together.
I don't think it's a coincidence that, when Jamal Murray hit that big 3 against the Mavericks when they played that game, that it was Luka who did not come up on that screen. I don't think that's a coincidence at all. And I also don't think it's a coincidence that Kyrie hit his weird fluky hook shot. Well, not really a fluke with that dude, but like his hook shot over Nikola Jokic. You know what I mean? You're always going to hunt these guys. I just feel like when you get rid of the PJ Browns and, the Charles Oakleys of the world, you don't have any of those guys. Now you just have really talented players who can just get it off the dribble. And you get guys like Victor Wembanyama, like bro, like you look at the OKC Thunder, that's the future of basketball, inverted pick and rolls and everything they're doing. How are you supposed to stop that team?
I think is like the worst player. For you to say like, oh, Luka didn't get up on that screen, you don't know the scheme. You don't know if it was supposed to be a switch and it wasn't Luka's fault. That's why
I promise you it's not supposed to be an open shot for Jamal Murray with the game on the line.
Yeah,
I promise
you
that.
That could be a lack of communication. That could and I'm just like, sure, if Luka was the closest guy, get a hand up, but like that it seems like a huge jump in logic to say like, oh yeah, I'm not surprised it's his fault. Of course, scapegoat.
No. I literally watched him. I literally watched him not put a hand up. Like he's literally right there. All he has to do is get over. It's just it's a compete level. It's an attention to detail. It's watching your off ball awareness, right? Like it's trailing cutters. It's how fast you close out. It's how fast you recover in transition. It's all of it, man. Like to me, it's like, look, I like Luka a lot. I think he's fascinating. He's a fascinating basketball player. I don't know how. Name me one team in NBA history that ever won where the best player didn't care about defense. I have never seen one.
Didn't
I might say 2011
Jokic cares about defense. Jokic cares about defense.
I mean,
cannot play
just
defense,
that
but he
Luka
cares.
doesn't care about defense is crazy. Do you know the story of Jason Kidd going
Did
to Luka
Magic
and telling
Johnson
him,
care
"Hold
about
on,
defense?
you know the story that Jason Kidd went to Luka and told him you're this ranked player on defense in the NBA, and that fired him up to actually step it up and put some more effort into it."
Yeah, I don't want
a
superstar. I got to fire up to play defense. That's what I'm saying.
Do you think Magic Johnson cared about defense? But that's a way.
Magic Johnson definitely cared about defense, bro. He was a 6'9" point guard, though.
For you to just make jumps in logic of, oh, this guy cared and this guy doesn't, is kind of ridiculous to me at the end of the day.
I'm watching a guy play.
You don't think that, Mars.
In 1987, Magic Johnson, you think he was just given insane effort on defense?
Yes. He was a championship team, Mars.
I don't agree.
But Slim, this is the thing.
And then if he was given effort, then he's a lot more inept than I thought. Then that's all I can say.
It's so bad with Luka, Slim, to where eventually they're gonna have to start doing offensive, defensive subs at the end of the game. Like in the last 5 minutes of the game, Luka's gonna have to, you know what I mean, Damo, like offensive.
They do that with Steph. They do that with
No.
I would put Luka at the top of this list too. Just so we're clear, I will put him at the top of this list too.
But you're just bringing up the point to say like.
I'm not saying he's worse than anybody on this list. He's
between Shea and Luka. I see what you're getting at.
No. I definitely think he's better than Shea because I don't think Shea is world beaters on defense either. But I mean, and the gap is offensively huge, and Luka is amazing. And so all the Mavs fans losing their minds in the chat. Chill, bro. Chill.
Question.
Jeez.
Don't let them hurt your feelings.
Go ahead, Dom.
I don't care about. No one's hurting my feelings.
Does the defensive metrics show Luka being upon like the worst in the league in defense?
No, he's not the worst in the league.
He's actually high up in a lot of those.
Here's the thing: rebounding counts for defensive metrics. He's a decent rebounder. If you're big, you can never be a terrible. You can never be the worst defender in the league if you're big.
That bad.
I'll do it. I'll say it again. Best post isolation defender by the numbers and the highest turnover rate in the NBA.
I feel you. It's a lot.
He's got good hands too.
But again,
savage.
The same thing with Stephen Curry. Team defense is important, and he's not a bad off-ball defender. From what I've seen from Luka since his rookie year,
when he's dialed in,
he's locked in. I see more from him than, and I don't even want to say this because he had a bad rap for so long. James Harden got a bad rap for his defense, but when you really watch, he wasn't the absolute worst defender. Like James Harden wasn't the worst defender in the league.
This one I'm saying
for a second, and then you started hyping up James.
Yeah, but you hate James Harden, so like
James Harden literally is the worst superstar defender I've ever seen.
And again, listen to what you
legitimately the worst superstar defender I've ever seen.
And Ron, listen to what you just said, and then listen to what I said.
Yes, Mars, he is. Yes, Mars, he is.
In the NBA, you took that and said, "Nah, James Harden is the worst superstar defender." Nigga, if it's only 13 superstars, well, damn,
he's the worst all-star defender I've ever seen.
And now this was my point, Damo.
Luka's worse. Trae Young is worse.
What you were saying,
Trae Young is definitely worse.
Allen Iverson is worse than James Harden.
No, he's not.
He's not that bad.
We're not getting into that.
You say he's not that bad. What you're saying about the off ball? My thing is this, Damo. I see it the other way. I see it as it's not that he's a very like a great off ball defender. He's just better off ball than he is on ball because he's that bad on. Yeah, because he's that bad on ball. It's just like, bro, like whenever he decides to make an effort, it's still only one effort. He's not recovering. He's not changing direction. He's not making you go another way. If he gets beat on that first initial play, that's it. Luka's just gonna do this and watch. Hopefully they miss to get the rebound. He can call for the ball and do what he really wants to do, which is dribble the hell out the ball and throw some grenades.
By the way, I watched that.
That's like saying Shaq is great at pottery because he's bad at free throws.
We got to keep it pushing, y'all. We're gonna go through the rotation one more time, and then we'll go ahead and conclude this list, and we'll get back to it tomorrow. Get into super chats and stuff like that. But as of right now, Damo, it's on you, and I'm telling you, you can't make stuff like this up. You have James Harden.
I'm thinking James Harden right now, I'm looking at that 4-star list. I'm taking everybody before James Harden on that 4-star list. He's at the top of 3-star. He's at the top of 3-star for me.
You can put him at the 4-star list, but just put him at the
3-star. Put him over Desmond Bane.
Yeah, put him over Desmond Bane.
Let Penn go crazy.
I'm not going to go crazy. I would put James Harden over Desmond Bane too.
No way.
But I would put him over. I would put him over Trae Young. I would put him over Jalen Brown. I would put him over Dame. Yeah.
27 and 11.
I would put him over Jamal Murray.
I just think Dame is too high.
Oh,
so
you're really high on James Harden. Okay.
James Harden's a really freaking good player.
I agree. I've been trying to say that for a very long time. But
all right, you got Jordan Poole. Big guy. You got Jordan Poole. Yep.
I've been waiting for this day all my life, bro.
Schizophrenic ass list.
This easy.
I'll put Jordan Poole next to Cam Thomas.
But in front or behind behind him?
Let me not troll. Let me relax.
I thought I was valid.
I thought I was
valid.
I'm gonna put him at the back. Well, you know what? Now, Mars, I've got 5 2-stars up here. So let me put him at the top, at the front of one. Let me put him at the front of one, in front of Cam.
Emmanuel quickly better than him, but I mean, I get it.
All right. Mars,
I wouldn't have put Emmanuel in the 1-star. You know what I'm saying? That's all.
No, I got DeJounte.
Yeah.
This is a tough one. I know I put him, but it's a tough one.
Is this not the bottom of 3-star?
It's either top of 2 or bottom of 3. I don't know.
I had him bottom 3.
DeJounte Murray. I would say bottom.
Oh, yeah.
He better than all them dudes in the 2. All of them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's why he would be at the top. Put him above Bradley Beal.
I'm not mad at it.
I like it.
I don't think I would, but I'm not mad at it.
I don't know. This doesn't really matter to me, but that feels all right.
Pin, you have LaMelo Ball.
Ooh, I'm intrigued.
Damn.
I'm very intrigued by how he's gonna rate LaMelo.
I gotta put him. I'm gonna put him ahead of DeJounte. I love DeJounte a lot. I love DeJounte Murray more than certain dead relatives, but I gotta, like LaMelo is an incomplete equation because he's so great, like so talented. His creation and shot making is crazy, and his defense is not great. So yeah, I won't take
unless he locks in.
I mean, yeah. But
talk about a guy with all the tools, man. All the tools.
People saying easy for Cho. He is not better than any player on that list. But he is young. He's 22, 23 years old. He's got a chance to be a 4-star. I just
He better than Bay Area Kimba. I'll say that.
But if he's one of your top 3 players, you probably not win.
Troll alert! Troll alert! Woo 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 woo! Troll alert!
Chill. You got Jaden Hardy.
Oh my God.
Jaden Hardy's on this list.
That's another one I believed in a few years ago. I believed in him.
I still believe in Jay. He's solid.
Right next to J Mac. Right next to J Mac.
Is that Reese again?
Right next to who?
J Mac.
You mean Javon Carr?
Yes, right next to him.
Oh damn, he nursed up. He below Scoot. Oh, come on, man.
Nah.
He better than Scoot.
Give him the 1-star love, man.
No, it's fine.
Slim.
Scoot.
You got Devin Booker.
Ooh, this is gonna be interesting.
I put him below Ja, above Donovan.
That is crazy.
But I don't think he's better than. I think he's better than Donovan Mitchell, but I don't think he's better than Ant. So we're kind of all screwed.
You don't think he's better than Ja?
No.
Ja being above all 3 of them is criminal. It's criminal.
Okay.
Poor choice of words.
Ja better than Devin Booker, Anthony Edwards.
Ja's a 5-star to me.
I think Ja's better than Devin Booker. I don't think that's crazy.
I don't think Ja's better than Devin Booker, but
I think Ja's a 5-star. I think a couple people are 5-stars on this list, but that's just me.
I'm taking Ja over one person on this tier. One person.
Trey?
Huh?
That's Jalen Brown.
And that's Jalen Brown.
You wouldn't take Ja over
Jalen Brunson, Tyrese Halliburton,
no.
Damian Lillard. I'm taking Ja over Damian Lillard.
I feel like I'm gonna keep it a buck. On the New York Knicks, Ja will be good on the New York Knicks. But I still don't think he's producing as much as Jalen Brunson's producing. I don't think he's carrying as much as Jalen Brunson's carrying. It'd be eerily similar. It would be time out, my bad. I'm gonna take it back. It would be eerily similar. It would just look different. But based on what I've seen from Jalen Brunson this year and in the playoffs, it's a coin toss with those two. Everybody else, though, I'm taking him over Ja.
Especially the way that they run that off.
He fell off a little bit for sure.
They run some action in New York. They get good action, but at the end, it's really Jalen Brunson getting the ball and going one-on-one.
Dude, I love the way they look. Like, I love Brunson, obviously, but I really like the way they look when he's not on the floor, because you got Josh Hart, DiVincenzo just like making plays for everybody.
Right.
I mean,
they do get action. They get double screen action. They get a lot of they get a lot of pin down action. They get stuff like that. But at the end,
when you have an intelligent big too,
with the ball going one-on-one.
Hartenstein is a criminally underrated passer as well. Facts. You put that guy in like Princeton point action at the top of the key, and you got split screens on the other sides running off of stuff. He's gonna find dudes for buckets all game. It's fun to watch.
I'm sad Houston let Hartenstein go.
All right, y'all. This is what we're looking at right now. We still got a ton more players to go. We will get to that tomorrow. But as of right now, we have 3 5-stars: Luka, SGA, Steph, in that order. We got a good group of 4-star guys too: Ja, Devin Booker, Donovan Mitchell, Anthony Edwards, Jamal Murray, Jalen Brunson, Damian Lillard, Jalen Brown, Trae Young, and Halliburton. And then we got the other guys too. You can see them up here. I won't name them. This is the list we got right now. Are y'all comfortable with this? How do y'all feel about this?
Scoot needs to move them.
Quentin Grimes needs to go.
This is an awful
Scoot's
list.
a no-star.
You stopped putting him at the end would make me forget, but I just still see him on the screen.
All right. Well, if the only flack that we're getting is Scoot Henderson and Quentin Grimes, I think we did a pretty good job.
Isaiah or Emmanuel Quickly.
Emmanuel Quickly needs to move up. Emmanuel Quickly would be like, I feel like he could be a starter on a championship team if the other 4 players are great.
But
a championship-ish
Austin
team,
Reeves, T-Row should both go.
Like, bro, the guy's shooting 46% from 3 as a Raptor. Can we put that
small sample size?
That's not a small sample size. That's 30+ games, bro.
It's not an entire year. Granted, I shouldn't say small sample size.
It's not like he was a bum in New York. He was great in New York.
No. I'm not trying to down talk Emmanuel Quickly.
Yeah, like, I mean, he's a really good player.
Yeah,
and he just if he's one of your top 3 players on a championship team, you're going nowhere. But I'm saying, like, if he's your 5th best player, oh, for sure, because he guards. He's actually one of the rare high volume 3-point shooter guys that actually guard, and his playmaking has come a long way as a Raptor. Like, the Raptors are developing like crazy. Like, I know the wins and losses are not showing it, but their development staff, Darko Rajakovic and Jama Malalela, like, they have invested in this after years of toiling under Nick Nurse and not developing. And, you know, we're seeing it with Scotty. You're seeing it with OG. Bro, I watched OG since Indiana. I watched him play every year. This guy could not finish in the paint. He had 2 left feet. 1 year with Darko, and I'm seeing like dynamic finishes at the rim. It's not fluid. It's not great, but it's decent. So this coaching staff is developing, and, you know, you're even seeing guys like RJ Barrett, you know, getting better. RJ's throwing passes I never saw him throw in New York. So Emmanuel Quickly would be better for sure, but 1 star is crazy. 2 stars, very, very disrespectful. I think, you know, he's very much on the border of 2 and 3 for me.
All right, y'all. I do want to shout out our Telegram sports community group chat. If you haven't joined yet, right now is the best time, because we're still offering a 2-week free trial period. Jump in there, debate with your favorite panelists and your favorite goofies in the chat, because they all in there doing what they do best, being goofies. If you haven't liked the video yet, do that. Don't be a goofy. Shout out all of our new members. Shout out all of our new subscribers. Speaking of new members, I'm going to go ahead and shout them out right now. Amon B. Shout out to Amon B. New member. Welcome to the party. Clad Diamond became a new member today as well. I got Super Me Up. Became a new member as well. Laney is a new member. Bobby 7. Shout out to Bobby 7. And on that note, I have a $25 super chat, or $33 Canadian dollars and 75 cents to be exact, from David Mujinaya. He said, which team can make the best all-time starting 5 without a player that won a championship?
Would it not be the Clippers? Because the franchise has no championships. So you just pick the bit like Chris Paul, James Harden, Blake Griffin.
That's what
Paul George.
Probably.
Paul George, and then I don't know.
That's
Owen
what
Brown.
Okay.
How many teams haven't won an NBA championship? That's how you figure that out.
But maybe that player won the championship with another team.
Has a championship.
Oh yeah, that's fair.
That's why the Clippers, like, because like Paul George doesn't have one, James Harden, Chris Paul, Blake Griffin,
yeah.
Like,
The Knicks could put together a pretty solid team too. Patrick Ewing, Carmelo, even throw Amari in there, Allen Houston,
Julius Randle, yeah.
Sprewell.
Latrell.
All right, I got one from LeBron's burner account or SMN RNDM. Said from UK, I wake up. Bron's in UK. Anyways, from UK, I wake up and watch every Mavs game. Regardless, Luka has quick hands and gets good steals and puts a shift defensively. He actually does well 1v1. I feel like people just go on reputation.
No, he doesn't. Do well.
I feel like Luka. If Luka's dialed in on defense, he makes good rotations and he's aware and he plays gaps well and he understands what he has to do and where he has to be. The issue is there's many times that I can think of where he's stuck ball watching or he doesn't make the rotation he needs to or he's late because he just doesn't want to do those things. And those are the plays if you're not looking for it, you're not going to pay attention to it. You'll just see, oh, this guy got a dunk, but it's because Luka was meant to tag him and he didn't. Those things is like they add up, and that's where he bleeds a lot of value. He doesn't want to make those extra efforts.
Yeah, and it's like I've talked about this before, but like he boasts that high turnover rate in post defense, and he's probably, I mean, I don't have numbers to cite right now, but in terms of maybe not relative to minutes played because he's on the floor all the time, but he gets a fair amount of hands on balls, like tipped passes, deflected passes, because he's pretty active in the gap when it's one pass away. But when he's, sitting 2 or 3 passes away, weak side corner, he'll get back cut. He'll miss a cover down for sure. And on ball, I think it depends on the way you're scheming, because Luka can give you 2 good slides, and then after that, he's probably toast. Like, that's the way it is. He's got 2 slides in him. If you make a counter and you really lean on him and keep dribbling, you're probably going to get around him, or he's going to
no recovery, none whatsoever. The minute you beat Luka, he is out of the play. He is gone.
But the thing is, with a team, and this is the thing, Jason Kidd is supposed to be this defensive coach. You think you'd be able to scheme for that, to where, like, by the time Luka gets beat, he knows that our scheme is, I'm running to the cover down to scramble out of this. So this guy can just go ahead and switch over. And by the time they even realize like what's happening, you try to make that drop down, Luka's sitting there in the passing lane ready to disrupt. But we just don't do that. It's frustrating to watch, to say the least.
Tank Jones with the super chat. Tank said, LeBron, where is Lambo's bread at? L Scammer.
You owe Lambo bread?
Well, see, the thing about it is I asked Lambo. I hit him up multiple times. I said, what kind of bread do you want? Wheat bread, white bread, sourdough, multi-grain?
Here we go.
Ciabatta?
Here we go.
Bread?
Here we go.
Simple question.
I'm on a show with a bunch of scammers. Slim don't want to pay his bets. Ron don't want to.
I'll bet my mustache. Let's just say like, okay, this is the bet. Because guess what? We didn't even discuss what the punishment would be for you. You got to do a whole show with your hoodie off. We didn't get to say that. I didn't get to say anything, Mars. A one-sided.
That's because you were too busy looking it up before we could get
the time. That's lame. Say hold on. Don't look at.
And on top of that, Mars talking about being scammers, people being scammers. You a scumbag though. So what difference does it make?
The panel's full of scums and scammers.
Right. So
I've never scammed anybody.
Scum, scammers, and haters. You're either one of those 3. Pin, which category would you like to choose?
He a hater. You know what he said about
mentors? I don't know what the categories are. What are the categories?
What do you identify as? A scum, a scammer, or a hater?
None of them.
He's a hater. He said,
I mean, okay, fair enough. I'm a hater, but honestly, I've grown a lot on that, and I do not hate anybody now.
I've grown a lot on that. That's heat.
I have.
Shout out to your growth. I'm happy to hear that.
Yeah.
Nice culture is real. I love just talking, man.
I think Raptors fans would say I'm the biggest hater of Fred VanVleet and Pascal Siakam and Dennis Schroeder. Those 3 guys, like literally, a lot of people were very offended. A lot of people were very hurt by that. But I'm
Dragic.
What's your issue with?
I love Dragic.
What's your issue?
I know a lot of Raptors fans hated him.
Because they're sensitive. They're sensitive. Everyone in Canada's got an issue with people who don't like, who didn't want to be in Canada, and it's just like, bro, like it's bigger than that. Like he got traded to the Raptors. I mean, he was super professional. Goran was awesome for the Raptors. He came in on day 1. He took Scotty under his wing in Scotty's rookie year. He really guided him. Scotty will still to this day tell you that Goran was like his like saving grace in his rookie year. Like he was like the time that he was there. So it's like, to me, it's like this guy did what he wanted to do. But yeah, he gave an interview to Slovenian TV and he said, I've got bigger plans. And everyone in Toronto was like, who are you? He's an all-star. He's accomplished more in life than 99.99999% of people ever will. So shut the hell up, But it's like people got, and it's like, did anyone ever think that he did not want to get traded there? Number one, that the Heat were not supposed to trade him, that he was a filler, and the Raptors told him straight up, you're not in our plan. So what's he supposed to say? Oh, I'm happy to be a Raptor. He don't want to be there, and they don't want him there. They threw him in as a filler so they can get Precious Achua.
I'm glad I heard your perspective. That's because all I heard was what people were saying, and I didn't care too much to dig into it. I didn't form any real opinions, but
Toronto, he just wanted out. He didn't want to be there. Well, wait a minute, that wasn't the case.
I mean, he was super professional. He was super consummate pro, but people don't see that, right? It's just like people see the front facing, and it's just like, to me, is like, it's very disturbing how often the best liars get to be the best guys on TV. You know what I mean? So if you're someone who's going to come out and just be straight up and just be like, I don't want to be here, you're a bad guy. Why are you a bad guy? Because you told the truth? You know what I mean? Like if Damian Lillard comes out and says, I have complex feelings about being in Milwaukee, that's honest. It's honest.
No, he hates Milwaukee. He doesn't want to be there. He should be grateful to be going to play with Giannis.
Yeah, it's like if I had a poster in my life, if I could have one poster in my whole life, it would be Joakim Noah. And literally I put it on my wall, and just him just saying Cleveland sucks. Just him saying what's so nice. I never heard anybody say I'm going on vacation on Cleveland. Yo, that's facts. That's just facts. Yeah, there might be some people in Cleveland who are hurt by that, but that's just him being honest. Why are we so against people being honest? Why I gotta go to Cleveland and be like, yo, this is the greatest city in the world. This is like better than New York. It's like, for real? And people who live there don't think that. So why? Shit. I wish people could just be honest about it without getting the hater tag. So maybe that makes me a hater.
And I actually am going on vacation to Cleveland this summer.
For real? No, you're not. No,
I swear. But here's the thing. So
I will give you a super chat so you can go somewhere better.
Ben, here's the thing. Well, first off, please do send that super chat. But my business is actually located in Cleveland, so it's kind of like a business retreat thing in Cleveland. We're going on a couple. It's like they got a couple yachts. We'll be on the water out in Cleveland and whatnot. But also
yachts in Cleveland.
Cleveland's on the water.
It's on the water. Yeah.
It's what it's
no. Okay, I mean, for sure. I'm on the other end of those Great Lakes in Toronto. I get you. I feel you.
Yeah.
And I actually heard Cleveland summers are actually not too bad. But also too, I will say, on the other end of the spectrum, they told me that Cleveland's not worth a damn.
You gonna run into Almighty Lambo in Cleveland and give him his break?
Almighty Lambo, you in Cleveland?
Yeah, Cleveland fan. I hope he's in Cleveland. I don't know.
Almighty Lambo, you in Cleveland? Elsewhere. If so, I might get sick all of a sudden, and I might not be able to make the trip.
Super chats, Ron. Super chats.
Damn, look at you telling you to do your job. Look at man.
I actually do have a job to do, and I'm gonna do it. Pen,
Lambo does live there.
Cool. I'll be there in Cleveland this summer. Pen, we need that top 10 in a second too, but I got a couple more to read. SMN RNDM said KP came out and admitted that he didn't like that Luka was number one.
Yep.
When he was traded to the Mavs, he was meant to be on his team. He said that he was jealous, and that's what stopped him and Luka from working out.
Is that true?
He said, I think that's a vast generalization of what he said on the JJ Redick podcast. I don't think that's not like verbatim. It might be what you took from what he said.
Right.
Not like I think he said he's like there was a little bit of immaturity both ways, something along those lines.
Right. That's what I heard. Immaturity. And
right. That's what I remember.
That's what I remember.
You took him that we were immature. That I was jealous of him. Wow. All right.
Nah, he never said he was jealous.
All right. I suppose.
Grande Jones said, "Do all white guys love the Mavericks?"
Well, I'm from Dallas,
so yes,
and Serbian also be a fan of the teams you want to be a fan of. I mean, I don't know. That's kind of goofy to bring race into it. I think that's
facts, man. What we doing?
Hold on.
Goofy logic.
If we go back to 87, 88, I would definitely 100% tell you that race had a huge thing to
Magic
do with
and Bird, right?
Magic and Bird, that whole thing, and it's always had something to do with it. I'm telling you, when I see white dudes going crazy over Austin Reeves, I know what it's about.
Yeah.
Well,
also, same thing with people that like Lamar Jackson. There's not a ton of black quarterbacks in the NFL. So like, black dude likes people. You like people that look like you. At the end of the day, not a ton of white players in the NBA. I mean, I don't.
My favorite player looks nothing like me.
Yeah, that's cool too. That's cool too. But like,
yeah, I'm a huge fan. I'm a huge fan of Jalen Suggs just because, like, you know, hairline deficiencies. Like, that's my guy. So.
No, I'm just saying, like, it happens, and I don't think bad of people that are like, man, like Lamar Jackson's my guy. It's a dude who's excelling in an area where he's a minority. Cool. You want to like him for that reason? That's you.
All right. Got a couple more super chats. Styles Blackman said, knew about the shorter leg when he got drafted, but y'all gotta remember the league bigs usually went before other players. KD was better, but Oden cold.
I just don't think you can ignore someone having a shorter leg than the other. I just don't think that's something that you don't ignore that. Like, I don't know what to tell you. You don't ignore that.
I feel like you have this visual of Greg Oden walking down the street and he just falls over because the legs are so imbalanced. Bro, it was like a quarter of an inch. But it's enough that when you
cause an injury, sure.
It creates
when you're doing a sport like basketball, like
for sure.
Come on.
It didn't really affect it. It didn't seem to affect his game when he was in college. But that's why I wasn't
a ticking time bomb.
That's the term, ticking time bomb, right? Anything that you do over a sustained period of time will go more one way or the other way, right? It's like smoking. Like, yeah, your first two not gonna hurt you. The 2 millionth might kill you, right? So it's the same thing with college basketball. I see, like, because it's March Madness now, and it's like, I think, a pretty relevant time to talk about what we're actually watching on the basketball court, right? You look at a college basketball player play, how are they actually dominating, and how translatable is that, right? If you're dominating because you're bigger than everybody, I got to factor in that will not be the case at the next level. If you're dominating because you're faster, stronger, whatever. If you're dominating because you're Steph Curry or Davidson and you could pull from 38 feet and just make it, well, that's not something that's about to go away at the next level. That's a skill that translates. So I think about translatable skills versus untranslatable skills. And I also see, peaks differently. It's like with Greg Oden, it's like, yeah, he's a big, strong dude at this level. He goes up next level, it's going to be a big, strong dude. And in the time that he played, he was great, right? But it's like with KD, there was like a little bit more of that stretch of how much stronger can he get, and how much more skilled can he get, and how much more can he space the court for his other teammates. And I just think, like, the future of basketball
we didn't see the game moving in that direction, though.
But we did. But we did. Stretch bigs were a thing, man.
I won't argue.
Andrea Bargnani just got drafted #1
the year before.
I'm not arguing that. That part I'm not arguing. But it was a big man game still, and Dwight Howard showed up. Not only did Dwight Howard show up, Shaq was on his way out, and Greg Oden was showing up. So the big man was still going to be viable, and these guys were an extension of what Shaq was. Shaq and Tim Duncan and those guys.
Who was the best player in the NBA the day that Greg Oden got drafted? 2007, right? The best player on his team was a guard,
Brandon Roy,
right? Or you could argue LaMarcus Aldridge at that point, but Roy quickly overtook him the next year. The best player in the league was probably Kobe, and if it wasn't Kobe, it was LeBron, and if it wasn't LeBron, it was T-Mac. You know what I mean? Like, Shaq was out.
It was Kobe.
In fairness, I do believe that there was a year where definitely T-Mac was on that level.
Oh, absolutely. I believe
defensively, offensively, but injuries took him away. Right. So I'm just saying, like, it was already moving towards, like, if you have the best 6'7" guy who scores a lot, you probably have a chance at a championship.
You have a chance at it. You have a chance at it. And I won't argue that. That part I won't argue. I think that's fair. However, who won the NBA championship in 2007?
The Spurs.
2007 was the San Antonio Spurs.
That team was anchored by who?
Tim Duncan.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Tim Duncan is great.
D-Wade and
Shaq. And then the year before that, it was Tim Duncan. And then the year before that, they're big and Ben Wallace, right? Which is an anomaly. And the year before that, in 2003, it was Duncan. It was still a big man dominated league. That was still going on. And the fact that sure, Dirk Nowitzki, the league was trending toward that, that doesn't mean that I didn't see the big man becoming obsolete. I did not see that. I'll be lying if I said I saw that, because I did not see that. I saw these two guys, both Dwight Howard and Greg Oden, be an extension of what Shaq, of what all the great big men were. That's
Bigs
all.
aren't obsolete. bigs are not obsolete at all.
The way that they play.
There was a stretch in the mid 2010s where bigs were struggling because offensively they couldn't keep up, and defensively they couldn't move their feet as well as
the three best players in the NBA right now. In theory,
but they've caught up. They've caught up. But that mid 2010s is where the bigs was. It was.
Yes. You could also argue in 2008, 2009, you could make a really solid case that Dirk was the best player in the league or the second or third best player.
You could also say the same thing about Dwight Howard.
Could you make that case in 2016
for Dirk?
No, for bigs being at the top of the league.
No, you couldn't.
Fellas, I got super chats. We gotta read them. Read them. Irregular said yesterday y'all was talking about best shooting guards, Donovan Mitchell and Book, but Kai on par or better. Another clutch performance versus the Spurs. Efficiency is above the others.
He's still a point guard, man.
Yeah,
he's still a point. He just plays the two next to Luka. Yeah, they just got 2 point guards. But if you put Kyrie Irving I don't know if he's underrated because I don't know how many people rate him, but he's elite.
Yeah, when people don't talk about a guy that's playing well, everyone just says they're underrated. It's like, no, it's just nothing's really changed. Sometimes that's just the answer.
No, Julius Charles said, I really like the addition of Slim to the panel. You guys make my day so much better. Love the panel and players' choice in general.
Good luck, Julius.
It's so much better than having guys like Dub come up here or something. Yeah.
Be careful what you wish for, Mars, or be careful what you say.
I got the day off if he ever shows up.
Almighty Lambo, ironically, with the super chat said, chill. I would agree with that logic if they wasn't freezing guards out to take contested middies rather than threes, yo.
Facts.
Hunter with the super chat said, playoff Murray is an 8-star.
It's a good player. Steps up.
He's still a 4-star, but okay.
Grande Jones said, why y'all let Pens get away with saying Bane was running point when Ja was out like Tyus Jones wasn't there?
He was still
I think you guys overstate how much Tyus Jones was doing. But
did Tyus Jones come off the bench still when Ja wasn't there? Did he start?
We were talking about Tyus Jones being arguably the best backup lead guard in the game. We were talking about him like that.
That's Doris Burke. That's
because
Doris Burke is
good.
Not Doris Burke.
I was talking about that. I for sure was talking about that.
What does a game? Tyus Jones, assist to turnover ratio, best backup guard, and that's what she does every time. And now everyone just started copying her.
No, we didn't, Mars, because I was actually watching Memphis last season.
They were playing good with Tyus.
I'm not saying you. I'm saying the masses, the people who don't watch Memphis. Right. They were saying it because Doris Burke was saying it because she would do the games and say Tyus Jones has led the league in assist to turnover ratio the last 4 seasons. He's the best backup point guard in the game. They've never watched Memphis play, but
because she said it must be true.
Because when Memphis are on national TV, she'll say it. Even when it's not a Memphis game, she'll find a way to bring up Tyus Jones and his assist to turnover ratio.
And instead of actually going to watch Memphis because she said it, I'm just going to take her word for it.
That's how it works. The national TV games and the announcers on those games, they kind of control the narrative quite often.
Leaf John in 7 said, shout out to Big Ox Bob for talking about women's hoop consistently. He's gotten me interested in trying to keep up starting next season. Hey, the WNBA season is about to start, so you don't let that.
Did it not just end?
No, the women. So the WNBA season's opposite of
that's pro basketball, Mars. This ain't college basketball. That's pro basketball.
WNBA season starts in April and it goes through August,
June.
I'm sorry.
October. Women's hoop is in a good place.
August. I apologize. The finals. I think the finals.
The finals was already that long ago.
Yes.
I swear I remember you guys talking.
WNBA is the summer league, Mars. It goes from like April to the end of August.
Yeah. Okay, time goes fast. I swear I remember you guys talking about that like a couple months ago. Okay.
That's why WNBA players play year round because they'll go play in Europe or Australia or wherever else during the normal season.
Yeah.
And then they'll come and play in the WNBA.
That's why Brittany Griner was over there in the first place.
Oh, interesting. Okay. I didn't know.
SMN RNDM said, you caught me. How did y'all know? And yes, I did steal that take from Ox.
It's because you're so corny. We just knew you had to be LeBron. That's why.
Prince Liger with back-to-back super chats. He said, Damo, that JJ/Braun podcast is about to change things forever. The non-narrative talk, etc., just straight basketball talk is going to be amazing.
I'm telling you right now, Ron, and there's going to be some people that hear stuff and they're going to say out loud that they understand. They have no idea. They have
I think people aren't going to like it. I think it's just going to be a level of basketball talk that's
going to go right over their head.
Because like I said, basketball is one of those sports that's so accessible, and everyone that's touched a ball has an opinion on something. And they, like Penn, you were talking about earlier, man, like, oh, this is my take. I'm right. And I will not step down off of this. And it's like, it's going to blow it up a little bit. I mean, JJ already kind of does that. But when you bring in, I mean, the best player of all time, or depending on how you look at it, the second best player of all time, it's going to be a little different. There's going to be a lot of just things you're going to have to be like, okay, I'll take your word for it. You know? Right
now it's a poll that's going on. Who's the biggest / best / craziest goofy in the chat? We have our James Jordan and Jabbar of goofies. We obviously know that that's James, Buddy, and who's the third goofy? I don't know. Somebody else did that. That's easy to forget. But we're trying to see who's on that next tier. And as of right now, Brax was trying to say that he is the best of that next tier, and it looks like he's getting blown out by none other than Almighty Lambo.
W.
Damn, Brax. Told you wasn't top 3. But anyhow, Prince Liger sent through another one. He said, podcasts like that, though, just make me wish Kobe was still alive, because a Kobe / Bron podcast with JJ as the host would be iconic basketball talk.
And everything you'd hear from the people outside of that just saying, oh, this is why Kobe's better than Bron because he made a better take on the podcast. Like,
he knows more basketball than him, so he clearly is the better basketball.
Yeah, it would be so toxic because the fans can't enjoy it.
If you want that kind of, like, for whoever said that, if you want that type of content, Kobe's detail episodes are still out there, and they are incredible. They are incredible.
And a lot of people didn't watch them because it went right over their head.
Yeah. And his talk about Draymond is like, I was not a huge like believer of like Draymond's this instrumental piece for the Warriors during that run, but just single-handedly changed my mind of just showing all these examples of him just quarterbacking that defense and being such a solid connector piece for them offensively. Like,
I feel like basketball is a really easy game to understand, man. It's a really easy game to understand. And I feel like Kobe's detail episodes, like, they laid it out really well. Like, to the point where I feel like even someone who didn't play the game, never coached the game, maybe even, I mean, you have to watch the game a little bit, but like the way he was diagramming stuff, the way the graphics were laid out, I feel like, you know, people could draw on something that they know more about to learn more about basketball. And I feel like, you know, a lot of people are going to be like intellectual. I feel like the best intellectuals are good teachers. Like, you want to talk over someone's head, you're doing nobody a favor but yourself. That's ego. To me, that's just stroking ego. You don't talk to a 6-year-old like they're 60. You talk to a 6-year-old with the decency, like with you know, like that you believe that they can understand something, but you gotta package it in a way that they can understand it. So I feel like, you know, Thinking Basketball has done a great job with this, in my opinion. Like, they lay out the stats, they lay out the numbers. There's a ton of channels like this already, and I feel like LeBron and JJ is just going to take it to another level because you got like the celebrity. But Draymond's been doing some great stuff too. I mean, again, it's different. It's different sides of it, right? Like, there's the business side of the basketball. There's the politics of basketball. There's obviously the game and the game within the game of basketball. And it's like LeBron. I will always remember LeBron saying like 2 points is not 2 points, and then someone looked at him like, what? You know what I mean? And it's like, bro, this is intuitively obvious that 2 points is not 2 points, but he's just like, I'll tell you later. And it's like, I think more people need to understand that 2 points is not 2 points, but it's try convincing somebody who's got, you know, $800 lying on, you know, a 2-point differential on the spread that 2 points is not 2 points. You know what I mean? But it's like, when you think about basketball, when you think about like the win percentage, I don't know if y'all watch like ESPN.com while the games are going on, but you look at the win percentage. The guy scores 10 straight points at the beginning. It moves the win percentage, win odds by like 2%. Guy scores one free throw at the end of the game. It could literally flip the whole game. You know what I mean? So it's like,
yeah, it could
this,
do that.
This does matter. So when we look at a box score later, we're like, this guy's a scrub because he scored like 9 points. And it's like, yeah, but he scored them all in the fourth quarter and they were all important. You know what I mean? So I got to think about like guys like Robert Horry. You know what I mean? Like, I think about guys like Robert Horry. It's like people say right place, right time. I'm like, right player.
Those
right
two
player.
Those two things are not the same. They're not.
Alan L with the super chat said, just got my PC beanie. I need one that says L Dub next time.
I'd pay for one that says L Dub.
Interesting, Mars, that he got a PC beanie. How about you, Mars? Did you get one?
Still here wearing Nike.
Okay.
Right. No sponsorship.
Shout out to Phil Knight though. Phil Knight, that's a good brother. Y'all should check out that documentary and read his book too. Almighty Scambo with the super chat said, "So what? D Mitch was doing what Garland and Mobley was out.
So what Donovan Mitchell was doing when Garland and Mobley was out meant nothing.
That's what he's saying.
Did
so
it?
No, it meant a lot. Yeah, it meant a lot. I think they
Jared
won
Allen is also underrated.
I think they won 16 out of 17 games. I'm on record. Mars and I actually had this conversation. I thought Jared Allen should have made the All-Star team this year. I was on record saying
that. Yeah, you did say that.
I think Jared Allen's a perfect backup big for Team USA. He's going to eat.
I think Ben Thompson dunked on him. Sorry.
Sama said Spurs win last night if they didn't hate Wemby.
They don't hate him. They just don't know. They just don't have the personnel to get him the basketball on a consistent basis. They don't hate him. They just don't know how to play with him. That's all. That's it in a nutshell.
Papu said, Magic didn't wear protection, but he played defense.
That's not funny. That's just not. That's not funny at all. It's not.
I think it's a bit funny.
As SMN R&DM said, not every comment has to be a life lesson.
Everything in life is a lesson.
All right, y'all. It was a good show. Tomorrow we will finish the list. Also, Penn, next time you come up here, whether it's tomorrow, whether it's Friday, whether it's next week, whether it's Game 7 of the finals, we still got to get your top 10. So
yes,
keep that.
I've been literally drawing it out while you've been talking, and I got up to 9, and I'm like stuck.
All right, well that's even better. We'll let you finish that out next time you come up here. But we'll talk offline. We'll figure it out. But we'll be back tomorrow with potentially the same group. We'll finish that list, and we'll have even more.
Andrew G, you still mad because I roasted you? B, you want your money back? You still mad because I roasted you? Huh? You still mad? You still mad because I roasted you? I can dig it. Yeah, it's fine, but I'm still not giving you your money back. I cooked you.
Too? Oh,
Playback.tv tonight. Y'all go ahead and watch. Tap in to watch the Bucks versus the Celtics with none other than Chilltown Hoops. He got time today. Andrew G, you're not gonna be the only one getting roasted today.
Come through.
We out.
Time.
Later.